But you can't tell me he wasn't scared.
We are now live. What up, everybody?
What up? What up?
What up, though? What is the finale of Andor tonight or something? Rob Costa?
It is, yeah. We are at the end, last 3 episodes. So,
What is Andor?
Star Wars TV show.
No.
Paul McWhite. That looks like I don't recall seeing that name around here often. So another Knicks fan. Another Knicks fan says Nick is the only one said need to hear some humble pie. After all these years, 25, Shelton.
I know.
25, and now the real ones are here. And humble pie needs to be, devoured.
Knicks won the championship?
No. But they haven't been to the Eastern Conference Final in 25 years, I think.
Not yet.
Yeah. So tonight should be the Cavs are playing tonight. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Don't say nothing, kid. I don't even want to hear it. You over here already started talking. You over here about we still got a whole fourth quarter left.
So yeah, let me see what's going on in this game.
Hey Nick, I had to put Sheldon onto some good music before you got on here.
What you put him on to?
I was playing that Saw Baby.
Oh, okay. You made that's your album of the year.
That's Saheem. That shit ride, man.
What's the name?
Hey Nick, you got an echo.
Saheem. You got some echo.
Yeah, you too, Spike.
That must have been Jaylen.
That's not me. Yeah, that was because I was playing it.
Got you.
You say Saheem or Sada Baby?
Oh yeah, I think that's what he. I think
that's the Sada Baby. It had to be Saheem. Jaylen listen to Sada Baby.
It was that Sada the No ID project that he did.
No, that was Saba.
Saheem, though.
Oh, that's Saba. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, Saba. But yeah, Sada Baby from Detroit. That ain't Jaylen type of music right there.
I don't know. He
listened to everything.
He bought some Detroit stuff.
This ain't good Detroit stuff though. Good Detroit stuff.
Well, you ain't no. Go ahead.
I listen to Sada Baby, but I said Saw Baby.
What?
Saheem.
Oh,
you listen to him because you DJ, or you like actively seek his music out?
I listen to everything when it drop. I just put stuff on spin, and I got a goal right now to hit 30,000 songs anyway by the end of the year. But
shit.
Damn, where you at?
What you
now?
mean 30,000? What you mean like listen to 30,000 songs?
yeah.
So
What you at now?
I'm only hold on. 8923. 8,000.
That's like if my math is correct, that's what 100 songs a day, or that 1,000 songs a day?
A little under 1,000 songs a day.
Oh, let me see where I'm at.
A little under 100. A little under 100 songs a day. A little under 100 songs a day.
Jay,
Okay,
what you describe sounds like what is wrong with the music world today for what they say the youngsters is doing. y'all just playing music in the background.
Nah, not even that, because that's why I favorite the music. I listen to it and I actually put notes next to this, like the music I listen to. So it ain't like I favorite the songs that I take away from it, and I actually write my thoughts out about the album. So like I'm listening to like 6-7 albums a day. So
That's nuts.
Yeah. That's beyond even what me and Ken was doing for the 2 years we did D365, bro. Like that's beyond that. Like
I'm not gonna hit the 30,000. It's just a lofty goal, but I mean,
no, I got you. But it's possible though, especially like days off and stuff like that. You can make up the gap throughout the week.
Oh yeah, Jaylen, you've doubled me, bro. I'm only at 5,000 for the year. Well, not double.
Where the fuck are y'all seeing that? How do you see that?
I have a tracker that I use, Now I gotta see if it matches up with Last FM because this is just off Spotify, so it's not even counting Apple Music.
You can go into Apple Music and get a replay every month, but I don't think it's as accurate as it should be. So if you look at your replay every month in Apple Music.
But are you listening to the complete songs, or you just listen to like the gist of the song?
I'll get through the. Believe me, some of these songs I just be like, bro, I wish I could turn it off. But I try to give every song a chance to see if it changed my mind. But yeah,
What's the most surprising thing that you listen to that you like?
Led Zeppelin.
First album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Like I'm looking at albums that are critically acclaimed. I'm like, all right, let me see what the hype about. That's outside my wheelhouse. One of those a day, and trying to see if I.
That makes sense. That's actually a good thing.
That's
'cause
that white soul blues music.
I did that with
that.
movies. I think it was like between 2012 and 2015, where I was just watching all the classic movies, the movies that everybody say is classics, just to see if they held up. And some of them did. Some of them like, but these are
So speaking of
people that you, I often say, tell these people that you didn't think that Cooley High is a classic. That's what you do.
he said it.
no, I didn't say it wasn't a classic. I said it. No, we were. Hey, so we were coming up with
discussing must see black movies, and he said Cooley High wasn't one of them.
It was, what was the list? We only had to say what was the list. It was only like 10 of them, right? Or 12. It was a limited number. It wasn't like unlimited.
Yeah, Cooley High is a must watch. I think it's is it the 50-year anniversary this year?
It's not a
I didn't
must
know
watch.
it. I'm gonna watch it again.
Cooley
Yeah,
High is a must watch, bro.
If it was a must watch, I would have seen it.
It's on Prime. It's on Prime. Nick.
You ain't even seen it?
Nick, you ain't seen it?
I haven't seen the full.
Bro,
I
that's
haven't
why
seen
you
it.
saying that, Nick.
Nick, it's
haven't
on
seen
Prime.
it.
Please watch it.
I haven't
That's
seen
why
it.
you saying that.
Bro,
When you
it's
see
not a
it,
must
you gonna-
watch, bro.
It is, Nick, for real, man.
Bro. I'm telling
Nick,
you,
please watch it.
I'm telling you something. This ain't even a Spike Lee crazy opinion. I am telling you, this
I can't tell the difference.
That's Glenn Turman's.
I'm justifying it.
Glenn
I'm
Nick,
clearing it up
coming
for
out
you.
party.
Nick, tell them boys the only Cooley High we acknowledge is from Boys to Men.
Where y'all think they got that from?
I was saying
Cooley High is a classic.
It's a classic.
Like,
I'm not denying it is, but it's not a must. Like if I had to make a list of 10,
must watch, bro.
if I had to make a list of 10 to 15 black movies that you must watch, Cooley High is not.
Cooley High is on that list.
It's got to be.
Because I can name you 15. I can name you 15 off top.
You can't. Cooley High is a classic black coming of age story.
It is. It really is.
It might not be one better than that.
So you saying it's the best black coming of age story on film?
I would put it. I would put it in conversation with any.
It's
black
up there.
It's better than The Wood. It's better than The Wood.
Yes. If it wasn't for The Wood, it wouldn't be no Cooley High. I mean, excuse me, one for Cooley High
wouldn't be no Wood.
Just because you first don't mean you the best.
But it is the best.
Yeah, that touched me. That movie messed me up as a child, and I him. You got to watch the movie.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask y'all a quick question on music, since we always start with music. What is the most obscure thing you listen to? When you listen, that's just off the wall. Nobody would expect you to like it.
Keith Urban, Blue Ain't Your Color.
I don't listen to nothing like that.
What you mean?
I'm just being honest.
You ain't got no weird like. I can't believe people.
Hey, Sean, that's the whole point of the question.
Yeah.
I really don't listen to nothing like that, bro.
People, now you done brought some crazy stuff to the table.
Like what?
For reviews.
Like what?
I gotta go look at some reviews.
But it's all been
nothing.
It's all been hip hop and R&B. The only thing that I'll probably listen to more than y'all, because I speak Spanish, is like reggaeton and urban Latino shit. You know what I'm saying? But okay, I will say this because my brother put me on, because he's been living in Brazil the last damn near 3 years. It's like Brazilian hip hop. Like he's put me on a lot of dope artists. So I listen to that, but I don't think that's off the wall. Like you listen to the beat and how they flowing, it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They just speaking a different language.
I would say back in the day, I grew up listening to a lot of like the 90s, early 2000s. Like, I don't know if it was like alternative rock or punk rocker. So like Green Day, American Idiot was one of my favorite albums growing up. I'm trying to think. I was in like that Linkin Park era, like that stuff was like I was listening to a lot of that stuff at that time. So I would say that's the only album that sticks out to me right now. There's probably a few others, but yeah, Green Day, American Idiot was one.
So all right. When I was younger,
we need to start. But go ahead.
Because Shelton, I took the question like, what am I listening to currently, or my later years. But when I was younger, I used to listen to Korn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, nobody would ever thought that, but yeah, I liked Korn.
Mine is Kiss, Love Gun.
Who?
Kiss. I love Kiss, man.
Oh, Kiss.
Painted face.
Yeah, I love Kiss.
Y'all go listen to that Step Brothers 4. Fire.
What about you, Ken? And then we start.
I'm all over the place. I'm listening to a lot of how you say it, Punjabi music. Is that it? Is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. Arabian music, but I don't know. It's Punjabi.
Okay, got you. I got you.
Yeah, Pungabi. Yeah,
so he didn't Timberland and Magoo had a song with Indian flute. That's what you
A-Rap money. He's spending A-Rap money.
I just knew one of y'all was gonna say Dre's piano music.
Nah, but yeah. So anyway, that may have been my.
I fuck with Andre doing that though. He's the biggest troll in hip hop right now.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. But apparently some people.
They said your pick is belly. Upset. They said your pick is belly gang.
No,
absolutely. Concert the 30th, Ken. You want to go with me? I'm going to the concert.
Nah, I'm good.
Talk about a sausage fest, boy.
And it's going to be a lot of them South Africans that Trump just brought over. Have been there too. All right, man, let's get started. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dennis Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have Shelton, FIFO, Nick, and Spike.
What's going on?
What up? What's happening?
Chilling. Yeah, we got people tuned in. We would definitely get into the draft conversation later because that was been the talk of the town today. But before we do that, we're gonna get into our best performance of the week, and then we'll get into probably a determination about this series that's been going on right now. But if you're tuned in, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and the like button, leave a comment, and let us know what you guys think. And let's get into our first quarter of sports talk with our best performance.
Gotcha. There you go, Jay. Appreciate it. Best performance of the week. We're gonna talk about this team, and I gotta highlight. When we do shows like this, we gotta promote black men. You know what I'm saying? And I know I get criticized a lot for not doing that, but coming from one of the best cities in the world, you know what I'm saying? As far as what he's represented, we got New York City. We got the Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks for Game 4. He dropped 39 points. Should have been 40, but he missed the free throw. So he should have had a 40 burger. But 39 points, 12 assists. So he's not just a scorer, but he's also a true point guard. He did that on the Celtics, even though a lot of people took away from that game of Jayson Tatum's injury. The Knicks was going to win that no matter what. And it's on the back of Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is probably arguably – I ain't gonna bring the conversation in here, Ken, but I'm just saying Jalen Brunson is on a trajectory of greatness right now. And if he does what I think he can do this year, we're gonna have to have a conversation. But I want to highlight his best performance of the week was just this past Sunday. Yesterday, Monday, for going against the Celtics. So yeah, shout out to Brun and the rest of the New York gang.
All right. All right. Yeah, shout out to Jalen Brunson. Happy for that, brother. Keep doing your thing, bro. Let's jump into somebody that is not. They are not doing their thing, and that is Donovan Mitchell.
Don't do that.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Don't do that.
Do it.
Don't do that.
To do it. The Cleveland Cavaliers took another ugly loss against the Indiana Pacers on Sunday night, 129-109. At one point, they were down by 44 points. And tonight, they are facing elimination.
That wasn't in the notes. That wasn't in the notes. I don't know where you got that number from. I don't know who gave you that number.
They're down 1-3. Were injuries the reason why the Cavs postseason run may get cut short, or do we need to have a conversation about Donovan Mitchell and how teams have tried to rebuild around him?
What you say, Nick?
Waiting on you.
Waiting on you.
I just got done talking.
You can start this.
He was trying to act like his camera was frozen.
Yeah. Like the question wasn't specifically for him.
Listen, which one you want to answer first? Where injuries play the factor?
All of them. All of them.
Injuries play a factor in every postseason run. You know, you can't avoid it. It's a part of sports. However, losing your starting five for a good chunk of this series is nuts. So I will give him that context as FIFO's favorite word on this show about. But I do think that the way Donovan Mitchell plays, as great as I think he is and the greatest he's shown himself to be, because I think he's averaging like 34 points, 5 rebounds, and a little over 4 assists a game this series. It does become a one-man show, and it doesn't help the rest of the team when he goes off for like 40 and 50. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird to say, like, to tell your player not to do that, because obviously you would want your star player to do star things, but if it takes away from the rest of the team and doesn't really get them involved, I think that's what we've been seeing in this series, where it's just like, if it's not Donovan Mitchell, it's nobody. So I do think that game that they lost at home, where they were up pretty much that whole game, even without Garland and Mobley, they should have got that game, and we should be looking at a tied series right now instead of an elimination game. But I don't think it's bad to build around Donovan. I just don't think he has never had like a true all-star with him. So you got to criticize him for the losses, but you also compare him to other teams. They have a 1 and 1A, or like 1 and a solid number 2.
Who's Indy's 1B?
Huh?
Who's Indy's second best player?
Indy's second best player? Pascal Siakam. He's NBA champion.
He's an NBA champion.
He is. Is he not, Shelton? Did I?
But is he an all-star? Is he an all-star?
He's a perennial all-star.
He's not a perennial all-star.
He's won multiple. He went to the.
Do you understand what perennial means, right?
Yeah, multiple all-star appearances.
No, it means damn near every year.
Every year.
Just pencil him in. Pascal Siakam.
He wasn't that this year.
No.
You're just saying that.
Nick, Cleveland had 3 all-stars too this year.
I almost had 4. Garland, Mobley, and Mitchell.
Yeah,
I don't look at none of them niggas like all-stars.
Allen didn't make it.
No, I said
Mobley was defensive player of the year, bro.
Yeah, and what that got him? What that got him now, kid? how many wins did that get him?
But at the end of the day, your whole argument was that D. Mitch don't have no help, and we're telling you he had a defensive player. I
didn't say that. I said that if we want to criticize Donovan Mitchell, you're right to do that, especially in the losses. But I don't believe he has a legit 1A or a solid number 2 on this team. Now FIFO, you brought up the point of like, oh, the all-stars and all that stuff. That's fine. If the Cavs have multiple all-star, I brought up the NBA champion in Siakam because you asked who's Indy's number 2.
No, you said your own words, and we could rewind. Jalen, do what you got to do. You said that D. Mitch don't have another all-star player with him, and then I proceeded to ask you, well, who is Indy's second best player?
And it's Siakam.
Nick, so you don't think that Mobley and Garland are better players?
They're not. No, I don't think so. I don't know a lot of people. I know a lot of people have a lot of hype on Mobley and all that stuff, but
he's a lot of hype.
He was a defensive player of the year.
So was Dwight Howard and them. You want him on your team right now?
Dwight Howard with the NBA Finals.
And you're the
Dwight Howard's a Hall of Famer.
So do you think that Mobley is going to be in that mold?
If he was more defensive player of the year, he's going to be Hall of Famer.
I have to see more from Mobley.
I don't know if Mobley would get to Dwight Howard's status, because Dwight Howard was a baller. Like,
exactly.
That was.
I don't. Yeah. So again, if I want to take, all right, I can take back that point about the all-star things. I was wrong on that. But if you want me to just look at this Cavs squad, that's the reason why y'all didn't really trust this Cavs squad. Because when you look at all the pieces, granted they were winning all these games, granted they had the best record and all that, they were doing all this stuff. But we all looked at this, or most of us looked at this. I ain't gonna say all of us, and say that like this team doesn't look like it has that it factor.
You know why? Because
They don't have
Mitchell's
a real
not a number one.
Mitchell's
not a number one. That's what we avoiding. You avoiding answering that. You're saying that he needs help, but the true thing to that is he is the help. Mm-hmm. He needs to be Robin somewhere.
Yes,
like he ain't Batman. Like that. We
saying.
Keep trying to act like in Utah and even here that this dude can lead a team to a championship, and he can't. He ain't got that. Well, he do got that dog in him, but he ain't the person that you need to be depending on as a number one starter if you plan on winning a championship. If you want to have a good regular season like the Cavs did, then yeah, especially if you got good pieces like Mobley, like Garland, like Allen, then yeah, y'all can have a good regular season. But when you get to the playoffs, this is going to happen every time. We've seen it in Utah, and then we're seeing it now. It's because D. Mitchell is not a number one. He's a number two. He's a really good number two. He's a really good number two. And he probably could win a championship if he went somewhere where there was a legitimate one and he was the legit two. But as long as teams are expecting him to be number one and building around him like the question says, it'll never happen.
See, here's the thing, Nick, and this is just the reality of the situation. He's a small two guard. And what do I say when you have a small guard? You got to pair him with a big man. Now, here's the thing. I like Evan Mobley, but I don't necessarily love Evan Mobley because the type of big man that he needs is a dominant big, right? Like, let's just say like a
they don't make them no more. Yeah, they don't make them no more. Who else besides
Joker and
you mean the two Giannis, greatest
Giannis, you want me to keep going? AD, Wemby, you want me to keep going? You want me to keep going?
You're naming players who are literally either the greatest at their positions or already locked into the Hall of Fame.
But that's what it takes to win a championship. But that's what it takes to win a championship, though, Nick. Because everybody don't win a championship. You can look at Charles Barkley and how great he was. He never won a championship. Why? Because who was the second best player when he was great? In Phoenix, Dan Marley, aging Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson was a baller, but he was on the decline. Like he wasn't the guy like that, right? Like who was his second best player?
So you need two Hall of Famers to win a title. Is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that you need a 1A and a 1B, and D. Mitch is 1B. He hasn't played with a 1A yet, and if he's gonna be your 1A, you're not gonna win a championship. That's what we've been telling you for years now.
Damn.
So what's I'm not even gonna bring up. I ain't gonna bring. So
what you got to say? Because Booker and Mitchell are looking in the mirror at each other right now.
Yeah, that's
go ahead, Shelton.
Yeah, Booker's a 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Shelton?
He on mute.
His headphones went out. Man, I really hate that we doing Mitchell like this.
Do you care?
He did it.
I do because I do like Mitchell. My thing with players is let's just keep them where they need to be accurately placed. And my issues with Nick will be he would say he's the best shooting guard in the league.
Who better than him?
You were saying he was better before he even accomplished anything, and right now he's looking like somebody put it in the chat. Embiid. He ain't gotten past the second round either, and he's supposed to be like one of the top. If you're a number one top guy, then I think there's the question of same energy. I do like Donovan Mitchell. He's had some good playoff moments, and he had some duds. Like he blew a 3-1 lead in the playoffs before to Denver, I believe. He shot horribly in that game. I don't know if you guys remember that. So yeah, I think there's a. And this year, it's hard to really evaluate Donovan this year because we cannot ignore the injuries that they suffered, like in the first couple of games of this series. That is context that we need, and that is just a fact. Losing Garland and Mobley for game one, and then game two, and then Garland coming back. We really don't know how healthy he was. He played awful in game four. Was a non-factor. So I think that played a factor early, but in how they got behind in the series. But where Donovan Mitchell is at fault is when he lost that second game. It's like you said, that was the one that they absolutely needed to have. He had a turnover, and then one of the other guys had a turnover. And what happens is when you lose Garland, you lose Mobley, key pieces, then you got to play Ty Jerome, who's been great all year. Then you got to play all these other other guys. I was supposed to say white guys. You have to play all these other guys, man, and they're role players, and they fit within how this team is structured. But the Cavs, if we look, kind of struggled a little bit towards the end of the season. They lost a lot of momentum. So injuries played a big part. I think Donovan needed to at least get them one while they were hurt to give them a chance to get healthy, which is what the Warriors have been trying to do themselves and failing miserably.
You said he was the best two. Is Ant Edwards the two?
He is.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm talking to Nick.
Oh, okay.
He is.
I look at Ant Edwards as positionless basketball FIFA.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good
saying,
one.
like, where would you? Is Ant a 2 or is he a 3?
This Spike,
two.
this took
He's a
place.
two.
Spike, this took place when he was on his anti-Devin Booker.
Yeah, this ain't had nothing to do with Ant Edwards. That's a whole.
But Ant is a two, right?
Yeah, he is.
If you want to call him,
he's the best two.
What do you mean you want to call him a two?
100%.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. And I'm not trying to go off tangent because we can still stick on the Donovan Mitchell and also talk about the Pacers because I think someone mentioned in the Reddit thread or whatever that we don't talk about the Pacers either.
Who does?
Is Steph a 1 or a 2? If you had to class it,
He's a 1.
Steph is a point guard.
You say he's a point. Okay.
Yeah, he's a scoring point guard.
Yeah, he
Stephon Marbury was a scoring point guard.
Yeah. And he moves. That team is a fluid team. They run a motion offense, so the ball does not stay in his hands as much. He's not a ball dominant point guard, but he's still a point guard.
What do they want us to talk about the Pacers for?
Because they about to go. They potentially about to go to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals, and no one really thinks that they.
Cares.
No one gives a damn about them.
I think it's hard to.
But this is traditional for them. The Pacers. No one ever cared about the Pacers.
Nah, when they was with,
when Reggie Miller was there, people gave a fuck.
Yeah, they did.
Even when Paul George and Roy Hibbert and them. They,
I forgot about that squad.
And I still remember Danny Granger and everybody holding out hope for him.
Oh yeah, they get Madison to Dallas.
Yeah.
Danny Granger was my nigga back in the day, but he could never stay healthy for save his life.
They still even back then though, Ken. I can and forgive me because I cannot remember. Wasn't they still like third fiddle because you had the Knicks and the Bulls? And so,
basketball people that when they had guys that we cared about, like like the names that we knew, like Paul George became a name. Danny Granger, Nick is right. People and I used to talk about him. Before,
they wanted him to be the man
because that lineup was stacked. It was like I forgot who the point guard was.
Wait, FIFO, who had Roy Hibbert in his top 5?
Tinsley.
I remember y'all.
It was Kyle.
Watching that. Kyle. I watched that video not long ago.
I'm like, bro, you crazy as hell.
It was like
Roy was supposed to be that guy though. Roy,
it was like he was. It was like Darren
it
Collins. It was Darren Collins, Paul George, Danny Granger. Who was there?
What's Steph?
Nah, it was the dude who he used to play for New Orleans with Chris Paul. He was a dog.
David West.
David West. Yeah,
David West.
He went to Xavier in Cincinnati. So David West and then Roy Hibbert. That was a mean.
Was it Austin Crozier on that squad too?
Yep,
I think so.
Austin Crozier, Jamal
White boy.
But see, what happened with Roy Hibbert? What happened with Roy Hibbert is the games, like Steph Curry happened to him. Like the game changed on him.
Yeah,
like
he wasn't really all that good.
He got
but he could shoot. But
he was good. But it went from
decent.
big man focus to Steph started coming in hitting these threes.
What about the Pacers right now? Because they are going to their second ECF. Halliburton clearly is on a mission to prove a lot of people wrong.
Ugly ass game, man.
They don't have. They again very much like last year. It's like everybody can score, and when you look at them, you like, okay, why are we worried about this team?
But why can everybody score? And that's the mission that Tyrese Halliburton is on, and he is the last of a dying breed in terms of being a pure point guard. Because you look at Siakam, right? Like Siakam, here's the thing, Nick. when I was giving you them looks when you was mentioning Siakam, I don't think Siakam is a bum by no means. He is a guy that you need in this NBA to be competitive because he's the guy that's guarding Jayson Tatum. He's the guy that's guarding KD. He's the guy guarding LeBron. He's the guy guarding those guys that you need to be able to guard and compete at that level. So to me, he's a championship role player, but a role player, fringe all-star, not a perennial all-star. Fringe all-star. He has a good year, cool, he's an all-star. If he has a normal year, he's not. You know what I'm saying? But you need those type of guys, Ken. But Tyrese Halliburton is the engine that moves this train down the track, bro. And he serves everybody up. Pause. In terms of getting them easy buckets. Hey, I caught myself, man. I caught myself. You know what I'm saying? But nah, he just like Tony Kukoc, they call him the waiter, bro. He serves everybody up and he makes buckets easy for everybody to get. Who the hell is Nembhard? Like, would he really be even a name if he played for any other team in the NBA?
No.
But because he plays with a pure point guard and that's a 3-and-D guy, he gets easy buckets. Siakam, bro, in the last 5-6 minutes of this game, he had 3 easy layups all off of Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton sets the table for these guys because these guys are really good role players, but Tyrese elevates them.
And the offense is good. Go ahead, Shelton.
I was just gonna say, and to add to what you're saying, FIFO, he knows when and where to interject himself as well. So you talk about a D Mitch,
pure point guard.
Yeah, D Mitchell, he go hard and he does. He can put the ball in the basket. We know he can score the basketball, but what are you adding to making other people around you better? Now I agree with you. Losing Garland more than anything, more than any of the other losses, losing Garland hurt because he took a lot of the pressure off D Mitch and what he had to do in the backcourt, and he could also put the ball in the basket and score. Losing him, and he's been, even though he's played, that turf toe is bothering him tremendously. And you can tell in the way his game is going. But for Halliburton, even take tonight, for example, this team was down almost 20 points. Halliburton saw, okay, well, they need me to score now, and he started hitting big shots. I think he's like 10 for 14 right now from the field. And he hit a ton of big shots to bring them back in this game to bring it to, I think they were down 3 or 4 going into the half, whereas they were down double digits this whole first half. So knowing when and where to step up and when to get those buckets is just as important as scoring the baskets. And I don't think Donovan Mitchell does a good job of putting other people in position to be successful,
because that's
especially with
game.
those others out.
That's not his game. He's a bucket getter. He's a scorer.
That's why he can't be number one.
And here's the thing. No, he could be a number one scoring option if you had a dominant big. See, because the issue with Darius Garland is that he's a smaller guard than D Mitch. And that's the same issue that Lillard and CJ McCollum had. They can get exposed. And that's what's happening here. You see how tall Tyrese Halliburton is? Tyrese is taller than damn near everybody not named the center, number 33 that's
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
He's taller than everybody not named Miles Turner and Siakam.
Hey, but can we give Rick Carlisle some credit though?
That's what I wanted to talk about that, Lou.
Rick Carlisle is a hell of a coach.
He's one of the best coaches in the league. And I don't think people talk about it enough as far as how good he is as a coach. He's just an asshole and people don't like him. The media don't get along with him, so they don't talk about him a lot. But for him to even get this team, I mean, yeah, they're good. And Tyrese Halliburton is good too. I won't knock him there, but he did get voted as the second most overrated player in the league by the players. What Rick Carlisle has done with this team for 2 years in a row, like he is one of the GOAT coaches in the league.
Yeah. I mean, good job by them. I really wish I had a chance to see the Cavs at full strength.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's but injuries is a part of it. It is what it is. I mean, Kawhi Leonard won a title because people were hurt. So, it just happens. But
Boston won a title because people was hurt.
The Knicks about to win the series because somebody got hurt.
I was thinking the same thing.
They was going, hey, Sheldon, they was up 2-0 regardless. That was before anybody got hurt.
Porzingis Mono shut it down. That's what
Injuries a part of the game.
Let's get to the draft, man. This has been a very interesting draft that has happened because of all the drama that took place in the regular season. So before the game last night, before the Celtics-Knicks game, the NBA draft lottery took place and the top 15 picks were announced. To everyone's surprise, the number one overall pick is going to the Dallas Mavericks. Was the lottery rigged? Here are your top 5 draft picks or teams picking in the draft next year, draft selections. You have Dallas at number 1, San Antonio is picking 2nd, Philly 3rd, Charlotte 4th, and Utah 5th. Go ahead. What are we dealing with here? Is this a conspiracy?
I don't think it's a conspiracy, Ken. If there was a year to talk about it, to prove your conspiracy right, this may be the year. But right before we got on air, I sent a picture to our group chat where in 2011 CP was traded to LA, and then New Orleans got the number 1 pick after that. Then AD was traded to LA, and then New Orleans got the number 1 pick, which turned into Zion. Then they traded Luka to LA, and then Dallas got the number 1 pick, which obviously is going to turn into Cooper Flag. Call it, I don't know what to call it, Ken. Am I going to say that the league is conspiring to go their way? Do they have the power to do so? Of course. But do I think that they're doing that? I don't know. The powers that be want control. You know what I'm saying? The best form of power is being able to control everything that you can. And I think the league would like to control as much as possible. Now, I'm not saying that they did, but I'm just saying it's kind of curious that all of these things have transpired in the way that they did. But here's the thing. Good for Dallas. My youngest brother lives out there. I talked to him before the show and I asked him, how does the city feel? Damn near forgot about Luka. You know what I'm saying?
Especially after that first round, because they ain't seen him.
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that we talked about in last year's finals in terms of Luka being out of shape, we seen him, obviously miss 2 beginning of the season. I can't think of the damn name, but like OTAs, I'm thinking of football. I can't think of the basketball, but like mini camp and all of that. He missed both of those 2 years in a row. He doesn't have the stamina that it takes to that's required of a champion, and we've seen that. Can he get over the hump? It's still still early in his career, but at the end of the day, Mavericks got the number 1 pick. We know what's going to happen, and I'm kind of sort of happy for them, but I think that puts Dallas in a very interesting spot, right? How often do we see a veteran team that's going for it have a rookie player be a contributor? Does it happen? So does Dallas blow it up and trade AD, and when Kyrie gets healthy, trade him, or whenever he's available to be traded, trade him, and just rebuild around Cooper Flag and get as many assets as you could possibly get, a la the Oklahoma City Thunder? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that the route? Because I don't know if Cooper Flag and the way that the Dallas Mavericks are presently constructed are truly a championship contender.
FIFO, you
said I'll let me answer that question.
No, I answered it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
In your scenario, the trades, how soon would you do that? Would you would wait to see if Cooper can play in the NBA, right?
We know regardless.
We don't know.
I'm about to say, don't do that. Don't do that.
Regardless if he can or if he can't, trading AD right now, you're going to get the most that you can for him.
Why would you trade AD though? If you got Cooper Flag, if you got Cooper Flag coming in and he's a versatile player that can play multiple positions, and I have AD who is a proven commodity in this league, that instantly make their team better. Like
not necessarily
in the top.
Because this is not the NFL. Like in the NBA, rookies typically don't put you over the tipping point. They just don't.
He's not. AD is putting them over the tipping point.
Here's the problem I have with that, and I'm gonna get back to what I think about it. But the problem I have with that, though, FIFO, is last year you made it to the finals. The reason for trading Luka was he wasn't in shape, and AD is going to help you get to the finals. So why would you trade him away this year? So honestly, getting the first pick is just a bonus for this team that was in the finals 2 years ago. All you did was switch out one player, which is Luka and AD. Adding this rookie who's supposed to be NBA ready should be the tipping point to help you win the NBA finals, not trade him away and start over. Why would you blow it up when you just made the finals?
Give me context for a rookie that put a team over the tipping point of winning a championship.
Rondo.
He was a second year. I was gonna say Magic Johnson.
Yeah, Magic. If your team was as good as
Magic,
like I said, if you're how often does a team 2 years or 1 year removed from the finals get the first pick? So in this case, you got it. So let's not blow it up. You got the pick. You lucked up to get the pick. Use it to your advantage by picking a player that's the player away. He's not coming in to be the main guy. He's coming in to be a guy right now. He'll be the main guy later.
At the moment, my thing is this, is that when you have two completely separate timelines like that, doesn't work. We saw Golden State, and here's the thing, right? Like, I was real big on Golden State already drafting like the replacements. You know, the light-skinned dude that went to Washington. Damn, I'm bad with names. Light-skinned dude that went to Washington.
Jordan Poole.
Kyle Kuzma.
Jordan Poole.
No, not Kuzma.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole. Moody, Kuminga, all of those guys. I was like, yo, they got the old guys and they got the guys that's like there to take on the mantle. And it just didn't work. And it doesn't
because
work.
Wiseman ain't as good as Flag is potentially going to be, though. Like Wiseman didn't never pan out.
Regardless, Spike, all I'm saying is in the history of the NBA, outside of a few exceptions, because Magic Johnson is exceptional, right? We're going to talk about Magic in my power rankings. But Magic Johnson is exceptional, right? Exception to the rule. But there's not many of those. LeBron James came in as a rookie and took the worst team in the NBA and made them viable. And by, I think, the second or third year, they were in the playoffs, right? Carmelo Anthony was a really good rookie, but there wasn't a championship contender his rookie year.
Despite none of them dudes worked out. It wasn't just Wiseman.
But like I said, though, FIFO, the only thing you changed on this team was what you said that need to be changed is Luka, because he wasn't in shape. That was the piece that was missing.
The same squad.
It's the same team. So
we just got a younger, more athletic defender.
Not the same team. We don't know if Cooper Flag can play yet. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about as far as moving Luka and AD. It's the same team that made it to the championship a year ago. That's the only change that was made was Luka and AD. So you add in Cooper Flag to what is already there. You're not losing anything.
Let me ask you this then. From AD is their guy, right? Like he's their flagship player for the Dallas Mavericks, correct? Would you agree?
Right.
AD has vehemently said he's not playing the 5.
He don't have to.
Though.
Yeah, he don't have to. They got 2 5s.
Hold on, listen. Cooper is naturally a 4. He's not really a 3. You don't have the dexterity to play the 3 long term or starting 3 in the NBA. And the number 1 overall pick is going to start. He's going to start. His natural position is going to be the 4. They're going to struggle if he plays a 3.
I thought Cooper was a 3.
I thought
he was going to play a 3.
I've heard some of what FIFA was talking about, and Q, we talking about the reaction to the NBA draft lottery and the selections that happen, and how they play out with these teams. I think if Cooper is as good as people say he can play the 3. It ain't that much. Is that much different than this? If we're in position,
it's way different.
I'm saying
you have to be a ball handler.
He is a ball handler.
He got the defensive ability to play 3. Bro.
He has the handles to play 3.
You're not because to me, I'm not looking at Cooper Flag to come to Dallas, because of course we're talking about when everyone's healthy with Kyrie and AD. Cooper Flag is the 3rd option at best with Dallas. If all 3 of them are healthy, he's the number 3 option. So they're not going to ask him to do too much, like you mentioned, FIFO, because he's a rookie. Plus, we don't know what he can really do at this level. So I'm not going to put everything on him. However, since he's only 18, he's young as fuck. And he just grew an inch too. So it's like, I'm looking at him to continue to develop his game. He's not a finished product. So for me to say, or for you to say that like, oh, he's going to be the naturally 4 and anything else would be too much, I'm like, fuck all that shit, nigga. Like, we propped you up. We propped you up to be this nigga. Then go ahead, be that nigga. Go ahead.
So real quick, what about the draft lottery? Because we're getting into the details.
Well, I don't. I don't think it's rigged. I actually like the fact that
Kid.
none of them bum ass teams
Get outta
got the number one because
Yeah.
nobody wanted to see Flag in Utah. No one want to see him in Washington. Don't want to see him in Charlotte or sorry Shelton. Nobody want to see them in the bum ass teams.
Right.
Let me go before Q because I know Q.
We wanted. I like the fact that I know FIFO talked about that picture where it says like every team that traded with LA or had a LA trade, they actually got rewarded with a number one overall pick. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because none of them teams, even with them number one overall picks, didn't do shit anyway. So
it's not about wins.
No.
All I'm saying is I love the fact that we're gonna see Cooper Flag in Dallas. I wish he was in San Antonio, but I think San Antonio with that number 2 overall pick is probably the most dangerous pick in this draft outside of number 1.
And that's part of it as well too, Nick. You just proved a point. You said why the draft is rigged. So many people don't want to see the number 1 pick in Charlotte or some of these other places. They
y'all had the number 1 pick for 20 years.
When
Charlotte,
y'all can say
Charlotte's been picking top 5 in the draft for the last
top 5, but not number 1. You just made the point.
When y'all lean into this conspiracy stuff because it sounds good though. Mike Greenberg made a good point, bro. This is the best system in sports as far as tanking is not going to get you the number 1 pick. The NBA has a lottery system, and it ain't guaranteed if you're the worst team that you're going to get the number 1 pick. So all that losing bullshit that Utah and Washington and Charlotte tried to do, it don't work. We've seen several years that the worst team don't get the number 1 pick. It ain't just this year. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's they have a system that works that prevents team from going out there and trying to tank and thinking that they're going to get the number 1 pick, a la Utah, a la Charlotte, and other teams. Like,
how many times have you placed a bet and hit
1.8% chance, Spike?
Yeah, that's all. That's a 1.8% chance, and you're not going to tell me that a 1 point.
That's what a lottery is, though.
But a 1.8% chance is not going to hit like that all the time. There's no way. It's definitely rigged. 100%
all the time. It's the first time Dallas had number 1.
Who said Dallas?
But it's not the first time that somebody with less than 3% chance won the lottery.
One at a time.
I was just about to say that too. Derrick Rose went to Chicago, his hometown, in 2008 with a 1.7% chance.
The year LeBron leaves to Miami, the Cleveland Cavaliers got the number 1 pick. So it's
to get it back. Yeah.
And then the year LeBron was in contention to go back because Dwayne Wade's knees was done, they get the number 1 pick again. I mean, bro, y'all gotta stop, bro. Y'all gotta stop, bro. Listen, listen, Spike. Let me give you another narrative. If the governor of Florida is the brother to the president, get the fuck out of here, bro. I like anybody who looks at sports and genuinely believes with their Santa Claus Easter Bunny heart that there is no invisible hand on any of this shit. There is no business. There is no marginal thinking. There is no thinking about numbers and money. Then you just kind of like, nah, bro. Like, you don't go to the strip club and think that the stripper likes you, bro. Like, it's not real, bro. There are certain things that are real, and there are certain things that are not. I think the players put 1,000% preparation into their bodies, and I think that they go out there, and I think that the best rigged processes have people that believe it's 100% real. The same way we believe in our vote in this country. That's a whole separate topic, but it's the same principle. The best processes that are rigged have people thinking that it is 1,000% legitimate. You cannot tell me that this is not a draft day deal that they proposed to Dallas. You cannot tell me that with Dallas just getting the number 1 pick in the WNBA, and now they got the best, girl player in the last 5 years. They get the best, guy player in the last couple years in a draft. This doesn't make any sense beyond the fact that it was all about the numbers. They have to boost LA's economy. The Lakers need a young stud for the next 10 years because LeBron's out the way. They told Nico fall on that sword. And now they got Cooper Flag, who I don't even think is going to play a game in Dallas, but that's a whole separate topic. And I think he's going to play a game in Dallas. I think that they're going to trade that pick. And I think
y'all are the same conspiracy theorists that told me that he was trading Luka Doncic so they could sell the team and build a casino in Dallas.
I never said that.
Same people.
No. I never said that.
Those are the same people that are saying that.
That was me.
You may not have
I never said that, but that conspiracy theory is not actually proven wrong because the person said that they want to trade him or they will build the casino. You know what I'm saying? they were saying that we want him out of there. Otherwise, I'm going to diminish y'all's power and we gonna move the team. So it was some I don't know. They talking about some whole other shit.
But my thing is, who gives a fuck? like look, let's keep it a bean. Like, who really gives? Q, are you gonna stop watching NBA because it's fake and it's rigged? Nah, I mean, so that's why I'm like, let's move. That's why I'm like, the whole point of being rigged, the whole point of calling out bullshit like that is to say that this establishment ain't shit. We shouldn't follow. We shouldn't do anything because it's not as authentic. But if we're still gonna watch it and consume it and still do the show, then I don't really give a fuck. And I'm not saying that just to you. I'm just talking about anybody else who says conspiracy. My main focus is the fact that, like Lou was saying, this is about teams who are tanking. And Q1, yours is the franchise that we looking at, out not the Eagles, but the 76ers, who did that shit for a whole fucking decade, ruining all those basketball careers just to get Embiid and not get out the second round. So that's why I'm just like, nah, we're not rewarding motherfuckers like that.
But that's cap, because at the end of the day, Charlotte is actually just bad. They're not tanking, bro. They're really just a bad team.
They're not, and they're not taking. They can't get top name free agents.
Yeah, like Washington actually tried this year, bro. Washington actually tried. Utah actually tries. Like, these are not teams where they're just throw some shit out there.
Don't do that, Q. Utah did not try. They started. I promise you, they tried, bro. They started sitting people at the All-Star break.
I promise you that they tried. With a leg hurt. I promise you. I promise you, they didn't just say, "Yo, let's put a team of G leaguers out there on the court and let's see what happens."
But they literally did that
because the rest of their players either got traded to better teams for better deals, or they left in free agency. So it's like you have to play the talent that you have. And no one's coming to Utah when your best player is marketing.
But
so it's like...
But my thing, even with Cleveland, like Cleveland before they even got LeBron was like known as a trash organization. Even with LeBron, they didn't achieve it. He had to leave and they became trash again. But they still retooled and rebuilt and became a better organization. I've seen Washington from the John Wall days to the Gilbert Arena days. They didn't do shit. I've seen Utah have good success, but not lately. But like when you look at Charlotte with the Hornets, like the last time they were really good was with Kemba Walker. And even then they were just the first round exit. So it's like, if you're not a good organization, you're just not a good organization.
You still prove to the Utah point, like the chat is saying, look, Utah literally got fined for tanking. They got fined this year for sitting players that shouldn't be sitting.
Where'd they get fined?
The NBA fined them because they were sitting players like marketing that shouldn't be sitting with bullshit injuries. They were tanking, and then they didn't from it. That's what they deserve.
In the case of Charlotte, for example, which I'm definitely a fan, getting the number one pick is something that should have come around more so than it has, because you're not going to trap top name free agents without top picks. If you get a Cooper Flag to come to a Charlotte team coming from Duke, that helps that region to grow. But at the same time, the NBA is bigger than that. And if they have some kind of back
that's the point of it being a lottery, bro. You don't say we deserve the number one pick because we had, like, the point of the lottery when Silver changed it was you can't have the worst record and expect the number one pick. And you telling me that you expect Charlotte to have the number one pick?
I don't expect Charlotte to have the number one pick necessarily. What I said is I expect the lottery to be fair.
Yeah, and
that was David J. Stern, not Adam Silver, that created
Adam Silver changed it when he came in, though. He changed it when he came in where the odds were different, where you couldn't tank and be like you getting more weighted balls. They were just talking about it on ESPN. He changed it
100%. All I'm saying, though, the lottery itself was created by him, but I'm saying the way that they do it now as to where it has been tweaked since. I took it like you were saying it from the beginning, but at the end of the day, it's this, right? There are going to be teams that tank, and there's going to be teams that are just bad, and there's going to be markets that just don't attract free agents. Let's be honest, as a professional athlete in your young to early to mid 20s, who in their right mind is say, I want to go to Utah? Like who's gonna want to go to some of these? Who's gonna say I want to go to OKC? Like nobody's gonna do that.
Are you suggesting that they have a right to tank because no free agents want to go there?
No. I'm not saying that they have a right to tank. What I am saying is that some teams are just gonna be bad. Now, some teams that are tanking, they should get fined the way that they got fined. Dallas 2 years ago was tanking, right, to try to get a high draft pick. So Philly, for all of those years that you brought up, they was tanking. That should be abolished and or fined from the game. Like, that should not be the thing. And that's also why they added the play-in, because motherfucker, you think that being number 9 or 10, you're just gonna be in the lottery. No, sir. You're gonna play for this playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, look, is it conspiracy? You can say it because it don't look right, it don't smell right. So is it right? I don't know. Nobody here knows the inner workings of how they do it, what companies that they have involved, and all of that type of stuff. You know, because it's not just the NBA. The NBA doesn't run the actual lottery. It's a whole nother firm or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Look,
that you made it sound even better for Q to say it's bullshit.
Q, LeBron, if you want to call it bullshit,
less likely.
Call it bullshit.
Higher firm. Yeah.
Well, being that's an outside firm, I think it's even less likely because what that do to their credibility.
Yeah, it's just an independent thing that we don't know and we don't have no vision on.
But the NBA is not their only client.
I get it,
The NBA is not their only client.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. That makes it
so,
even less, makes it less, rigged because they have more clients.
So businesses are hiring. No, man, go ahead.
So then, Q. Why? So are you upset that Philly got the number 3 overall pick?
But my point is that, first of all, I don't even think the draft should exist. I think the drafts. I think that players should be allowed to leverage their talents on the open market. I've always said that if you actually want to talk to me about real free market sports, let's get real. All this fucking bullshit about, I got the worst record, give me the best pick. No, nigga, make your owner put the fucking bread up. Like, I'm tired of this shit. It's Cooper Flag should be able to pick where the fuck he wants to go amongst these teams. And whoever bids the most should get him.
You sound crazy as fuck right now.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Y'all everybody wants to be on this free market capitalism shit until it's time to be on some free market capitalism shit. Let these players as independent contractors pick where they want to go and make these owners pay the luxury. All this fucking cap space, all this shit is an illusion. Just let this be as bare as possible. So I'm not I'm just tired of the whole
process. Do you understand why there is a draft, number 1, a lottery, number 2, and why there's a rookie wage scale?
Because they say so, and they don't have to.
No.
You gonna give me a bunch of bullshit?
Was it Vin Baker or was it Glenn Robinson? Big dog Glenn Robinson, bro. Like this free market economy that you're talking about for a rookie, right? Big Dog signed one of the biggest rookie deals ever and did not live up to it. Now, obviously, he was a good player. He wasn't the superstar that the money suggested that he was, but he's a damn good player. And also, we can look at the NFL. When these quarterbacks were signing $100 million out of college and they couldn't play. So you're saying why does that matter to me? You think that it's a better product for the NBA for somebody like Cooper Flag to be able to go sign with New York or Golden State or wherever, go over the luxury tax, and then he'd be a bust.
No, I think
that's cool.
I think that amongst the teams that haven't made it, I think you should be able to bid for your talent. I really do believe that. Because I think all this is just smoke and mirrors, and we're all just playing by this for white rules for no reason, because we think that, the cap space and all this shit. But I don't give a fuck about no cap space. They have billions of dollars. CEOs get appointed to positions every fucking year, and then they have turnover the very next year because they can't produce the margins that they want in the actual company. So you tell me that those people can go in the open market and leverage their talent, but somebody who's the most sought after in a industry where their skill set is premium can't do the same shit amongst 14 teams that are in a lottery.
But you know about those CEOs, they have a track record typically,
and that's not always true. We just seen Lucian Grange appoint his son to be the fucking CEO.
Of course, there's nepotism.
Nepotism is
but at the end of the day, when you're talking about the CEOs, right, the majority of the CEOs that you're talking about that move from company to company, they have a track record of either cutting a whole bunch of niggas and increasing margins. And if a business is flailing, that's what they need. They're gonna go hire that person. Who the fuck is Cooper Flag in the NBA? We don't know.
He's the most sought after prospect.
I understand all that, but he has a 0 track record in the NBA. You don't know what he can do, and you know what he can do. He cannot sign the restricted free agency and try to hit the open market if his team doesn't re-sign him.
Hey.
And then you know what? And if his team does match, if Dallas decides to match, then guess what happens? He could become a free agent when it's time.
Well,
I guess
go ahead, Shelton. We need to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as far as that point is concerned, we talk about the NBA as a business. You got one champion in 30 businesses as a whole. The only reason I don't agree with that, Q, is if you get placed in a business, if you get job placement. So they gonna kind of direct you to where they want to go. Just like if I get a job at Verizon, for example, they're gonna tell me where I'm going to work. And now I can later on put in bids to go somewhere else, but for the most part, they're gonna kind of direct me in the direction I need to go.
So my closing argument is that we're gonna let these people tell us that we can get paid millions of dollars in college, being basically professionals, and then turn around and say that, hey, yeah, no, you have to now be selected by the worst teams to go to work. That makes no sense. And all we're doing,
go to China.
If China offers you the most money, that's your right to go. The
Exactly.
thing is that you're not actually advocating for the independent contractor to maximize their value. You're saying that this is the orthodoxy, and that normally people who go against orthodoxy are punished by the orthodoxy. So I'm saying is that we're doing a bunch of smoke and mirrors.
Brandon Jennings didn't get punished.
We're doing a bunch of they smeared BJ for so many months before he even got to the draft because he went to China. Is he good? That's the whole.
He's still winning the lottery, and he
still winning the lottery because some people. But at the end of the day, people, all I hear you always advocating for is the orthodoxy and how shit has always been, and that's just not where I'm going.
What I'm advocating for, Q, is that if you are a top prospect, you have every option available to you. The reason why you're going
bullshit, bro. That's bullshit.
How's that bullshit?
That's bullshit.
Cooper Flag could go to fucking China right now. He can go to Indonesia.
That's bullshit.
He can go to Puerto Rico and go.
People, you know that's bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why that's bullshit. It's everything I just said. You get punished. You get run through the fucking mud.
I prefer you not telling why that's bullshit.
And the thing is, I'm holding back, Ken. I'm holding back. But you know what I mean by the word orthodoxy. Let's not do that. Where you can I'm gonna go and do the thing that no one's ever done before and expect everything to be good. No, bro. The fact that we even have cap space and luxury tax and all this bullshit is all just arbitrary rules to keep niggas in line. And the thing is, though, is that we need if you actually want people to maximize their value the way that the ownership group can maximize their value and gentrify entire neighborhoods to put some bullshit arena downtown somewhere, then these niggas that are high school prospects that are getting paid millions in college should be able to go pick where the fuck they want to go amongst the 14 losing teams. That's where the fuck it should be at. But instead we're over here arguing about Charlotte and we're arguing about
all I want to say, hold on. All I wanted to say was this, Ken, and we can move on. The Spurs have the number 2 overall pick. They could arguably go get Giannis and pair him with Wemby. That's the
point.
That's the only thing
that's why they got it.
That's the reason I want to see.
I told you that's what they're gonna do. That's why they got it.
All right, not gonna unmute y'all. So is the NBA draft lottery rigged? No, it is not. I think the process is just flawed, as many processes are. Just some stats, and we'll move on to a quick break. And I saw this on CBS Sports. The team with the worst record has not picked number 1 since 2019. Team with the worst record has now fallen to number 5 3 years in a row. And play-in tournaments have now won consecutive lotteries, as both the Mavericks in 2025 and Hawks in 2024 reached the postseason. It's but not the playoffs. It's just interesting that we're not in an uproar, but the way we were when it happened with the Hawks, but we're in an uproar because the Mavs got the trade. I just don't understand. I guess it was rigged for the Hawks too. So anyway, let's move on. Let's take a quick break, man, and we'll be right back with nothing. Hold on.
If you're looking for real conversations and motivations to be your best, then you have to check out Another Week in the Books. Another Week in the Books with Spike, Lou, and Rich is your go-to podcast for growth and community. Plenty of dope conversations take place week to week as they inspire each other to be better through conversations. Another Week in the Books, wherever you get your podcast.
Shelton, you're up next.
We need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pivot a little bit because I was.
I know.
I was going to talk about the draft
Hey,
collusion.
before you do that though, just a quick update on the game. Did Donovan Mitchell miss 3 free throws?
Let's move on to we need to talk. All right.
That's what we need to talk about.
Yeah, that's what it need to be. And if you want to change it up,
Listen, we are here to uplift our black brothers. All right.
We need to talk, man. We need to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I'm waiting on Doc to come by. It'll be on in a second.
You could just. It don't matter. We need to talk about the Boston Celtics and Jayson Tatum, man. We need to talk about the Boston Celtics because at the beginning of this season, I think it was a foregone conclusion by a lot of people, myself included, that Boston was going to walk away with this NBA championship. A dynasty was on the horizon, and most people felt like Boston was the it city in basketball. Everybody was reaching towards them at the mountaintop. They were the only sure thing in this whole NBA situation. Now here we are months later, and they're pretty much done. They are done. As far as we can see. Jayson Tatum had surgery today. And Boston, as we know it, will not be the same by the time he comes back, because he's probably going to miss the whole next year, from what I'm understanding. By the time he comes back, there will be no Al Horford. There will be no Holiday. There will be no Jaylen Brown or Derek White at that point. So what is he coming back to? We don't know. So is this the end of the Boston Celtics era? Is this run over for them?
No, it's not.
Hell
I hate motherfuckers is just gassing up shit, bro. I swear shit can change quickly overnight. Like, granted, if you're telling me they lose an Al Horford and Drew Holiday, that's fine. They're old anyway. Holiday's gonna be potentially a Hall of Famer, and so is Al Horford. But they still got the best tandem in basketball with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. This is Jayson Tatum's just first big injury of his professional career. I'm not even sure if he wouldn't go back to Duke, maybe his whole career as a basketball player. They still have one of the – I will give Brad Stevens credit. He knows how to put a team together. He may not know how to coach one, but he knows how to put one together, and they can retool and rebuild. I don't think this is the end-all, be-all. I just think they just got caught with the injury bug, and they faced a team that was just better than them. You know what I'm saying? It happens sometimes. It's basketball. It happened last year when we all thought the Nuggets was going to be the end-all, be-all and get to the finals, and they got knocked out by Minnesota. So it was just a stopgap for how long they've been dominant, because since Tatum and them got into the league, they haven't done anything but make it to the playoffs, if not make deep postseason runs. I mean, they've been to 3 to 4 Eastern Conference finals since he got drafted. So it's like, I consider that a part of the legacy and not necessarily quote unquote dynasty, but Boston is going to be here for a minute. They ain't going nowhere.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Sheldon.
I just forgot to mention that Porzingis, they said the main ones, they said it before this series even started. They said that this team will not look the same. They said that as it's currently constructed, they were going to change it anyway. So that's why I asked that question, because they had already brought that up before the season started, that they were not going to keep these players. So Porzingis for sure, Al Horford, and Drew Holiday will all be gone.
So they just tried to run it back one more year, and it didn't work.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Well, we're here now, so let's continue the conversation. The New York Knicks took an embarrassing loss at home on Saturday to the Boston Celtics, 115-93, but came back to win and extend their series lead to 3-1 after last night's victory in Madison Square Garden, 121-113. Was Game 4 a must-win for Boston or New York? And how will the Celtics move forward without Jayson Tatum, which is a conversation that we need to have as well?
I kind of want to victory lap this, but I don't want to jinx the Knicks. So I'm gonna just
please don't. I got
Knicks in 5.
The Knicks are going to win this series in 5 or a healthy 6 if Boston shows up. Jaylen Brown will have the game of his career, but I don't know if that's possible right now in this season. I think that Jalen Brunson has proven that he's the best player in the series easily. I think it's just too much dog in him. It's too much never say die. It's too much guts. It's just he's that guy. And I think he's super tough, especially in the clutch moments. Fourth quarter, I can count on him to generate offense if it's a close game. And the Knicks, Thibodeau's defense has paid dividends for them, especially against a team like Boston that I feel like they get a little bit too cute and they seem a little bit too light on the inside when it comes to Porzingis and whatever illness he got going on. There's some tweets about that that's hilarious. But Horford is just too old. The industry to Sam Hauser is actually bigger than what we thought. The Knicks out-rebounded them last game, I think, by 12. And they got up 13 more shots, which is insane because think about how many shots you see the Celtics put up every game. There's just too much confusion with whose team it is in Boston for me. And at the end of the day, they're just getting out-muscled. They're getting bullied. And I think that the injury to Tatum is very unfortunate. It's, to me, completely future-altering. It may not be, career-threatening or whatever because we're now in the age of sports medicine where injuries like this can be kind of made more of a mundane type of injury. But the Achilles is still nothing to play with. KD came back from it, and although he's had some pretty great moments, he hasn't, to me, looked the same before the injury. And anyone who's had an Achilles injury, who's recently undergone one, hasn't looked the same to me prior to it either. But they can still have success. So we hope that Jayson Tatum's able to capture that success again. This completely alters their timeline. Everything that we just talked about with Drew Holiday, I think Derek White now has to get on the chopping block potentially if they want to make different moves for values-wise. And it's just really sad the situation for them. You hope that the Knicks can just put them out of their misery just for their sake at this point. And once again, I got to give a shout-out to Mikal Bridges for finding his mid-range game. So Tibbs finally opened up some wrinkles, let Mikal get loose a little bit. And I think that was kind of the deciding factor, is just those little 8 to 10 footers. That was everything for the Knicks. And Brun closed out. I'm willing to do it now, Nick. I'm going to just say it now.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm going to do it now because I feel like it's just, not only hashtag content, but it's like, it's just time to say it. There's an Iverson effect here. And I'm going to just say that. With Jalen Brunson, there's an Iverson effect here that I'm looking at.
Chat called me crazy when I said that today, Q.
And Q crazy
you wasn't
too.
in there. You wasn't in there, Q, but the chat called me crazy when I said that.
Who you plug, bro? Because you must have switched up. Like, I don't know what's happening.
I always say we
Q.
I don't know what's happening here. So this is what I would say. New York has taken this series, and to me this story is more about the collapse of Boston, because in a lot of these games they've been up 20 plus points
every game,
looking like a champion that wants to go back to back, and in late and crucial clutch situations they just totally collapsed. And to me that more speaks to New York's grit that we know that a Tom Thibodeau team is going to have, albeit lacking creativity and on the offensive end. But to your credit, Nick, Q, Brun has stepped up in the biggest of moments, and he's taken Boston Celtics' heart. But at the end of the day, the bigger story, in my opinion, is the collapse of the Boston Celtics. And then the cherry on top is the Jayson Tatum injury. For a lot of the things that Q said, it alters their timeline. Shelton, I agree with you, where the last game that Jayson Tatum played versus the next game Jayson Tatum is going to play it's a completely different Boston Celtics team. So this right here is the last of what we're going to see from this Boston Celtics team. I don't know if they move on from Jaylen Brown. I don't know if, well, we know for a fact that Al Horford is old. I want to say Al Horford might be older than me, or he might be my same age. I think he's around LeBron's age. So Horford don't have more than 3 more years max.
38.
He's 38. He's 3 years younger than me. He ain't got more than 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's playing very efficient basketball, he's carved out a niche as an old man for himself. And this is why we talk about old man game, but that's neither here nor there. You look at Porzingis, you look at White, You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, you're gonna have to. Porzingis already getting paid, but you can't keep White. Like, how you gonna pay him? You already got two dudes making damn near $500 million apiece. Like it just financially doesn't make sense. So to me, again, this story is about the Boston Celtics, how they potentially fumbled the dynasty.
I will say that we got to start. Ever since I got on this program a long time ago, I was like, we got to talk about everybody from the players to the coaches to the organizations. Right now, to me, this is a coach's conversation because Joe Mazzulla, I said it last episode. I was like, bro, do we even know he's a good coach?
NBA
And to me, coming when people FIFO, me and you question Tom Thibodeau coming into the season after the cat trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his time to show if he can't get this team to the Eastern Conference Finals, then we need to have a discussion about where he should be at and if he should be on that team anymore. Right now, I'm looking at Joe Mazzulla. Like, Tom Thibodeau has outcoached two coaches that we were thought that people coming into these series of these playoffs were like they're better than him.
Wait, hold on, Nick. Who in their right mind thought that Mazzulla was better than Thibodeau?
Because he's an NBA champion.
I'm
saying I think that if when it came to
I agree with you, Nick.
Because and if you look at the regular season, bro, they blew him out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the track record was like, nah, Joe Mazzulla's better than Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a lot of evidence to say you.
I don't know why I heard that.
A lot of people agree with that. So
that's why
I don't know why I heard that.
So that's why I'm saying, like, these playoffs when against from the Pistons to now, we like, bro, Tibbs has been out coaching a lot of coaches with his adjustments, with how he's doing things, and they just don't know what to do. And granted, like you said, even though he got one hand behind his back because he don't really know how to do offense like that, but his teams get results. So I think we really need to start looking at Joe Mazzulla. But I'm gonna give credit to where it's due. It's the Knicks. I ain't gonna say this ain't no collapse about Boston. Like, nah, we ain't trying to hear none of that. Y'all didn't give me no excuses for Donovan Mitchell and injuries and all that shit. I ain't giving them excuses then either. These niggas just lost to a better team. FIFO, your goofy ass came out here and said Cade Cunningham was better than was the best player in that series and got proven wrong. You went to this next series and said they ain't got no shot, no chance, and they prove everybody wrong. Give credit where they built a team that is. It's damn near reminds me, and I don't want to jinx it, but the 07 New York Giants. You know what I'm saying? They had a shitty regular season, but they get caught on hot and they about to come and they about to take out New England, aka Boston, for a title run. Potentially.
I would be with you, Nick.
Let's get to the final first.
Nick, I would be with you if the only problem I have with that, and the only reason I definitely agree with you, FIFO, because you're, like we said, every game you're up by at least 15. It's 20-point leads in these games. As an NBA player, as a champion, you're supposed to be able to hold that lead and put these guys down. And they had it in every single game. I'm not talking about one game. I'm not talking about two games. I'm talking about every single game of this series. You've proven to be at least 20 points better than the other team.
So that
now,
point,
it's your job. It's your job.
That's
what I'm saying is
that's his point, though.
But what I'm saying is you it's your job to close it out. And the only reason I look at coaching as being able to steady the ship, but I also look at the players on the floor. Like, your job as a leader is to make sure that you ain't losing this lead. Just like it was the Knicks' job to come out and play with heart and take it away.
But my thing is with coach, what do they say? There's two things about bad coaching. What they say either you're allowing it to happen, or what was the other thing? It's like
you're either condoning,
or allowing it to happen. Either way, you can say Joe Mazzulla's doing both, because we talked about adjustments. We talked about it, just like, why are they shooting all these threes? They doing all this. It took Tatum to go down 2-1 to start taking it to the rack. You know what I'm saying? Like, that last game before he busted up, before he tore his shit, that's the best. That's the version of Jayson Tatum that I try to talk about when we have these discussions. Like, bro, he should be considered one of them ones, because when he is on like that, there's not 5 players better than him doing that, because it's on both ends of the court. He had 2 blocks, 5 steals. Like, he was doing a lot to single-handedly keep them in that game before he got hurt. Granted, I don't think they were going to win, but he showcased what he is in this as an all-NBA first-team player. But it took them 4 games to get to that point. If I was the head coach after game 1, I'm like, nigga, we're not shooting that many threes. We taking it to the rack, because JB and all we got niggas that can ease. The Knicks be letting them go. I can even say that as a Knicks fan, like, bro, their defense in the paint is trash for the most part.
Yeah, Towns was getting 8.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but like they don't do that. They don't go with that. Now we'll see what Indiana does, in the next series and how they adjust. Hopefully they can. But I'm just saying, like, as a head coach, but like you said, Sheldon, it shouldn't take you to game 5 when you're on elimination to be like, oh, okay, let's make some adjustments.
I just feel like once you won a title, obviously time has to factor into this unless you become like a Doc Rivers figure where it's like, okay, that one title, bro, like that don't really hold much weight. But there's still not enough time in between a year from like literally 10 months ago you were champion to now can you coach? Like I'm not putting it there. I'm putting that on all the players. Like I'm not one of these people who looks at coaching so much when the talent is already there. I have to look at the guys that are suiting up. And I just look at Joe Mazzulla like, yo, we're good enough to be up 20 points, right? So why are we blowing the lead? Like I can't coach you into not taking the easy basket. I can't coach you into I can say, yo, get the ball down low. Yo, drive into the paint 24/7. Right. But at the end of the day, you with the ball in your hand, you have to do what is getting us here, what got us to a championship last time.
So Q, this is where I disagree with you, and I guess this is the FIFA versus Q show today. As a former coach, right? Like you set the culture, and we know that for the last couple of seasons, and I think the NBA just has an issue overall, but we know in Boston particularly, it's about chasing the 3-point shot. In that first game, I talked about it, right? Like they gave up easy drives to the basket for a tougher 3 or a forced 3. And that's not good basketball. But that starts from up top. That starts from the culture of how we are going to play basketball, our system, and how we plan to attack. Now, here's the thing. We can have that mindset, but a great coach is going to adjust. Hey, stop seeking the 3 and let the 3 happen, right? Look, everybody on here has played basketball at some level. And this is my thing, right? Like, this is something I used to coach. The ball has energy. The more passes, the more people touch it. When you seek the best shot, more than likely you're going to make it. And sometimes the best shot is not taking the wide open 3 and taking that baseline lane and getting a layup or a dunk. And that is coaching. Yes, I can coach you to say, hey, our philosophy is to get up 63s. But if we hit 10 of them joints 2 games back to back, hey, bro, I need y'all to get 3 the hard way, right? Like coaches always speak in like little phrases that you can apply for the whole game. Get 3 the hard way. Stop relying and falling in love with this 3-point shot. Let's get to the basket.
What you got, Spike?
I was gonna wait because my section got something to do with this, but
okay, we can hold it. I'll be brief. Joe Mazzulla is not a good coach. Yeah, that's all I got. I think he just lucked up to a title, outshot everybody with 3s, went up against a porous defensive player in Luka and took advantage of him. You can do that last year against the Dallas Mavericks. You could have did that this year against the Knicks. You didn't do it. You didn't preserve the lead. And you just kept shooting 3s. That's coaching. He's just not a good coach. You don't lose 3 double-digit leagues against a team that has grit. That's going to, like, you got to know your opponent. And you know they're going to keep fighting. And then by game 3 or 4, you should know this by now. He's not a good coach. This should not have happened in every single game that we've seen. Damn near.
But at this point, though, haven't we seen Tatum with 3 different coaches? So I'm kind of like, I'm just kind of bored by it. Like, okay, so Ime Udoka's trash now.
Because, Ime's it's really 2.5 because Ime fucked up his own situation.
But Ime, they lost to an old Golden State team. So it's like, so Ime Udoka's bad, right? And Brad Stevens, they lost to LeBron James, so he's bad, right? He's not in the front office. So either Boston can't find good coaches, which is fine if y'all. I'll submit to that. Like if Boston has had 3 coaches in a row, fine. But it's also like they've also had Jayson Tatum like 8 years in a row now too. And a lot of people, you obviously can't do it because you did win the championship, but back last year, people were saying, "Yo, this is a fraudulent ass run." You've won against Miami when they didn't have Jimmy. You beat the Pacers when they didn't have Halliburton, and then now you beat the Dallas Mavericks when clearly they got on a miraculous run. Everyone thought it was going to be Minnesota, so it's like it is what it is. Like they won a championship, and then in the summer, Steve Kerr don't want to play you. So it's like I'm just looking at the guy who's actually suiting up. I don't think Jayson Tatum is that guy like everyone keeps saying. I think he's a great player,
and that's fine. I mean, we've had that conversation for 8 years now. I think now we're gonna see what the fuck Jaylen Brown is because now he's the guy. So we're gonna see how it look. But right now, man, get Missoula out of here. Just like we're gonna get out of this segment and come right back with another break.
If you are a fan of gaming, then you need to check out Dead End Gaming. Dead End Gaming brings you honest reviews, hilarious moments, and deep dives into the conversations take place in the industry. No sugarcoating, just real gamers gaming. Check out Dead End Gaming, the world's most dangerous gaming crew, on Twitch or YouTube. Just look for Dead End Gaming ATL. That's Dead End Gaming ATL.
The Denver Nuggets split their homestand with a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder on Sunday night, 92-87. Now that the series is tied 2-2 going into Game 5, which team do you think needs this win the most? And has Joker been living up to his billing as the best player in the league based on how he has been playing in this series? Thank you for that last question, Nick. Who got to win this game, y'all? It's going on right now.
I got
the
Denver.
Nuggets.
I got Denver.
It's a must win for the Nuggets.
So you're saying it's a must win for Denver?
Must win.
Yes, because OKC is a more talented team. Like they do have the best player in Denver in this series, but we've all recognized that. But from a top to bottom standpoint, you have a team like Oklahoma City that can go 1 through 9, 1 through 10, and in the playoffs, that's important. I don't know if the Joker will be able to sustain holding all of those people off. So this is more important to them than it is OKC, because OKC can use their talent and win the next 2 games, even if they lose this one. But it makes sense. It makes sense that Denver get ahead and try to. They can win any game. They got the best player in the world on their team. So if I get up 3-2 and I can go win one more versus going down 3-2 and not trying to lose one, it's going to mean a lot more for them to win this game.
Denver has a deeper bench as well. I mean, I'm sorry, OKC has a deeper bench as well. So in saying that, they got the legs to keep up. So I think Denver has to win this game so they have a chance to close it out at home. You don't want to come back to OKC for Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this. I don't think it's a must win for Denver. This is going to be one of OKC's toughest opponents. So I don't think it's must win for Denver. I think they've been playing really good, minus one game where they got blowed out, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But every game has been really good. This is not must win. You just have to compete because you know you got a home game, and all you got to do is take care of home. You just got to win one on the road. So regardless if it's Game 7 in OKC, you have championship metal that you can rely upon that OKC does not. Now, Spike, I don't disagree with you. OKC is the superior talented team. They go 1 through 10, probably even deeper than that. But at the end of the day, Denver has a championship. They still have their championship core. So that's the reason why I don't feel like this is must win. Just compete. Don't get blown out. Don't get your spirits down. Stay in the game, whether you win or lose, and go back home and take care of business.
But didn't they have championship core last year?
You think it's harder to win a Game 5 or a Game 7?
I think it's obviously harder to win a Game 7. Okay, but that doesn't mean that this is must win. So what happens if you lose? Oh my God! So because my thing is this, right? I'm looking at the other side of the fence. If you go into this game with a must win attitude and you don't win, what does that say about the next 2 games?
You're back against the wall, but you do have a number 1 player in Joker who you can feel confident in going into a Game 7. I do agree with you there. But this being a must win takes pressure off of Joker for having to do too much in a Game 7. And I feel like that's where they won't be successful. If he feel like he got to go in and win Game 7.
What you say, Ken?
I was just asking if they had that same championship pedigree last year when they lost in the second round.
At home in
They
game
did.
7. Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is the reason why like Joker has not played well this series. Like he hasn't played well to the level that he has billed as. Like if you look at all his statistics, they've been down. Especially my main thing was free throw percentage because he was a 90% free throw shooter. He dropped like 15% in this series alone. So it's like if you can't trust him at the line and his shots is not falling like that, like they were exhausted coming out of that Clippers series. So you asking them to go to another series to 7 and thinking they're gonna win that, like, and it's gonna be on the road and they ain't even got home cooking. It's like, bruh, fuck all that. Win tonight and end it on your home court so you can at least get some rest, or at least get, more rest than you would if it goes to 7. Because this team is older. Not saying they old, but they are older. Obviously, OKC got them young legs, but I don't trust this Denver team to go 7. Like I don't trust this. Like they need to win 6 or it's a wrap. Like I will give OKC that credit that if it goes back to Oklahoma City, if they split these next couple games,
but you base that off of what history? Like just because they're young and they have legs that
I'm basing off because I can't trust this Denver team like I used to. They lost people. They lost my trust.
Hold on. You just said that Joker hasn't played good. Has SGA played exceptionally well?
No.
So then what are you basing it on then?
I'm basing off the fact of going into this series' matchup. You would say that Denver should be the superior team based off of talent and experience.
No.
Why would you not?
No, because I said, and you was trying to grill me all year of me saying, yeah, OKC is the most talented. Yeah, they're the number 1 seed, but I don't think they're going to win a championship.
I meant to talk about Denver as like going into the series. I don't know if I said OKC. I'm going to say Denver going into the series. Denver would be the one that you look at to win because of experience and talent.
Yeah, but no experience, not necessarily talent, because we all agree here across all 6 of us, OKC has the superior talent. But at the end of the day, it's the experience that's going to get you in a game 7 that you can pull on, and that's why vehemently I've stood my ground on OKC not beating a team like Denver, because if it gets to that game 7, SGA has not played exceptionally well all series, and it's very interesting that the level of physicality has raised. He hasn't gotten the free throws. He don't play as good. But that's a different conversation for another day. He's just not playing as good or what we expect of him. But you know what we have seen from the Denver team? We've seen the others step up in games. Not throughout the series, but we've seen a big Michael Porter Jr. game. We've seen Jamal. We've seen a Jamal Murray sighting. We saw Aaron Gordon.
He's been saving the Nuggets all playoffs.
He's been their most consistent other. So at the end of the day, again, OKC has more talent, but if it gets to a game 7, I'm putting my money on experience.
Shelton, I think that this is a must-win game for OKC. I don't think they want to go back to Denver for a game 6. It will be over. What do you think, bro?
I agree. Like I said, I think for both sides, but definitely for well, I would say the most pressure is on OKC. I would think so. Because you do look at that experience, and you don't want to see Joker get hot. He's been lying dormant this whole time. You've done a great job defending him with the other Jalen Williams. They've done a lot to shut Joker down, but to do it, like I said, if Denver wins tonight, they're gonna close it out at home. I just believe they will. I don't see OKC beating them in Denver for game 6. And game 6 is game 7.
Yeah, and I think that's where the experience will come into play, and I think that's where OKC can earn the experience by finding a way to win 2 back-to-back games. But I think that was a very, very, very tough, gutsy win for them. They're almost down 3-1, and it's over at that point. That was a really, really. I mean, that game was nip and tuck the whole way, and they found a way to win it. We saw some very youthful inexperience showing up from SGA, shooting 2 threes, trying to hit the dagger shot, and then a couple of other shots where he was trying to shoot shots to make a playoff moment. And this is what it is: just win the game and get out of there. But I think they grew up, but they got to win it. Every game is different, and I think for me, it's really not about OKC. It's about Joker. Joker has been awful. I don't care what stats he's been putting up. I don't give a damn about anything.
Off was a stretch.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
It
stretch.
is.
He ain't
been
playing. He
awful.
ain't
Not the right
playing.
word.
Yeah, he's been below his average.
So look at his shooting percentage. He's crying about fouls. He's missing clutch free throws. He missed 2 in the fourth quarter yesterday.
He did.
He's not this awful for Joker is like his standards. There are standards, and we've been talking about this. Everybody's saying Joker is the best player in the NBA, the best this, that, and other. If this was any other player, if this was LeBron, that's the punching bag we all go to. When Matt or Embiid or anybody, imagine the conversation we've been having. Joker has been getting a pass with how awful he's been and how unclutch he's been in the fourth quarters. He hasn't been producing in the way that we've come to expect from him. And it needs to be called out. That's why I'm glad you put the question on there, Nick, because I'm watching it and I'm waiting for it because I've seen it. I'm waiting for the Joker big shot. I'm waiting for the Joker big play. I'm waiting for the Joker. I haven't seen it in this series and even the last series.
And it goes to show you again, like how quickly things can change when it comes to narrative. Like Sheldon, you were talking about Boston potentially not even being a dynasty no more. Before the Denver won that championship, we were questioning Joker in the playoffs a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then he won the championship, and then now everybody was on his nuts, and he got an additional 2 MVPs or 1 or 2 MVPs after that. And now we're seeing like last year he couldn't even win Game 7 at home. This year, if they lose tonight, it's a wrap. So like you potentially are talking about 2 back-to-back seasons where you were the favorite, and now you getting knocked out by the young boys. It's like, nigga. And your coach is gone, so it's just like you got motherfucking
when was
the
Denver
Hamburglar coaching?
Joker the coach.
You said what?
When was Denver the favorite?
I'm saying like your favorite to me, like if you want to say, okay, because this is the reason why it's confusing when I talk to y'all about this stuff, because y'all kept on telling me, Ken, they tell me OKC wasn't really looked at as a for sure thing to get to the finals or a championship, whatever. And I'm like, how did we not get to that when y'all said they got the MVP, they got the best record in the West, they got the most talent, you know what I'm saying? They got the most talent on the squad, like. But y'all saying y'all don't believe them. So, okay, that's fine. So then when I say now Denver's the favorite or whatever, y'all like, hold on, who said that? Like, nigga, y'all the ones that told me that these niggas aren't real or they too young. So it's like, I don't know what side y'all want to argue. All I'm saying is for me, if we're going to lean on experience and championship pedigree, Denver has the lead and should be the favorite to win a long series. But the way I'm looking at Denver now, I don't believe in them like I used to. Because I've seen too much bullshit in between that to where if we're relying on Aaron Gordon to save us, nigga, we might as well call on Flash Gordon. Q, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust that. What are your thoughts?
I think Denver is going to close the series. I just trust Joker. I trust his decision making more than anything. And I just need in the next 2 games, you just got to have a Jamal Murray game. I think that's what Denver needs, like medicine. Jamal's always had that one game where he gets at least 40 or I'm damn near 50. I don't know if he's capable because he's still probably getting back from his injury. But yeah, man, Denver to me, just the experience and everything you pointed out is the reason why I have to side with them. I mean, if you want to use the word favorite, that's fine. I just think that OKC's youth, it's valiant, it's noble, it's all the good cuddly words that we want to use. They're still too young, and if it's not Denver, it's whoever is going. You know what I mean? It's going to be Minnesota next round or somebody. Something's going to catch up to them. The margins are going to reveal themselves, and I think that OKC has had a great season. They can still win this series. I'm betting Denver though, and I think that we will see their youth do them in at some point in the future before the season is up.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I completely skipped the Wolves. I was looking for that. My apologies.
We can skip it. We can skip it.
Well, no, we can't do Ant like that, man. The Minnesota,
because he don't want to talk about Ant. Q, you know what he's talking about.
The Minnesota Timberwolves took the lead in the series 2-1 against the Golden State Warriors on Saturday night, 102-97, and plan on extending that lead Monday night. However, if the Warriors want to continue their deep playoff run, Game 5 is a must win. What stood out to you the most in Game 4? Does Golden State need to start thinking about a future post Steph Curry?
What I was thinking about is how fake this fucking series is because ain't no Steph Curry playing, man. And this shit is fake as hell. I'm watching this shit like the Warriors will be up 3-1 right now. This Timberwolves team is stupid. They're stupid. Like, this is a dumb team. Like, I'm not like mincing words. This is a stupid basketball team. They have a lot of talent. They got a lot of stupid players. Dante DiVincenzo, idiot. Julius Randle, idiot. Like, they can hoop. They can really hoop. Trust me. But in terms of the X's and O's, Steve Kerr was coaching circles around them boys the first game. It ain't got nothing to do with no rust. It was coaching, and it was player IQ. It was basketball IQ. It was mentality. They knew where to be on the floor. They were confusing the fuck out of those young Wolves. So when I look at it now, when you subtract the gravity, the planetary gravity that is Steph Curry, a top 5 player ever, the best point guard to ever live, when you take that off of the court, you no longer have that gravity on your side. And now Ant-Man is just picking them boys apart as he should. He's hooping the way he should. And if things continue, they should win 4-1. I'm hoping that they get Steph Curry back. I'm hoping that they can take the series.
Why can't Curry continue to coach circles around him with no Steph Curry?
Because when you don't have the planetary force that is Steph Curry, when you don't have the top 5 point guard ever, top 5 player ever on your team, the leader of your team, it's kind of hard because he makes the rest of those guys look way better than they are. And plus, Jimmy was here to be a Batman. I mean, Jimmy was here to be a Robin to a Batman. So it's kind of hard.
100%. So
Jimmy's hurt too. Okay.
I'm on your side here. I'm on your side here because Jimmy is arguably the greatest 2 in the NBA, right? Like, he's the perfect Robin. He has to play off of somebody else. And even in Miami, right? Like, even when he played the lead role, Bam still orchestrated a lot. He played a lot off of Bam. And when Tyler got hot, like, they was nice. But Spike, what are you looking at, bro? Like,
I don't understand why y'all saying Jimmy is a 2 when he led a team to the finals that wasn't supposed to go there, and he was the main option. Where is this 2 coming from?
People's talking about the actions. People's talking about the actions and how they get into their offense. Does he control the ball, and does he play off the ball?
Right. He didn't do that in Miami.
He played off the ball, but the thing is that he was first of all, when they played it, the first time they went to the finals was 5 years ago. It wasn't just last year. Now it was 5 years ago, and look at it like this: he's not the athlete LeBron was, or is.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy has a lot of attrition because Jimmy has maximized every ounce of any type of talent he's ever had. So at this point, he is diminished. Still a great player. I love him.
Yeah, it is obvious.
He's a number 2.
It is obvious, people, that he's hurt. He got hurt in that Houston series when he fell on his tailbone. And you can tell by the way he's
not moving the same.
Yeah, he's nowhere near moving like we know Jimmy can move. He's not, even the shots that he's missing right now. If you look, he's missing certain layups. He's being passive. And I'm looking at the game like, what is he doing? But I can tell he's laboring. I can tell. There's no way that Jimmy's at full strength.
These games are close too, by the way. That's
the shocking thing, and I will concede to that.
It shouldn't be shocking because the Wolves are stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's shocking based off of the talent level disparity. But I can't let Jimmy go off, get any passes. Like, again, if you win the game, you win the game. If y'all listen, if y'all trying to keep it a bean about Donovan Mitchell at the top of the show, we gonna do the same thing with this rundown.
He not hurt.
He's 36.
Donovan was a game time decision for this game. He had an ankle issue.
Donovan Mitchell is like 28. He's
either way. It ain't about the age; it's about the injuries.
You talked about Garland being out. Garland played, but we know Garland wasn't at full strength. We know that wasn't the right Garland.
Garland was out. Garland was out. Jimmy's not out. Jimmy's been playing.
Jimmy missed the game too, and then came back.
But make your point. Make your point.
My whole point is that in the game that they needed him, because Curry was definitely out, he only scored 14 points, bro, off of 8 shots. That's what BZ said in the chat. He was like, bro, 9 shots. That's not. At what point is that getting it done on any level? And if you too hurt to score, to sit your ass on the bench. You know what I'm saying?
But they're better even with Jimmy only taking 9 shots or 8 shots or whatever.
Tell me that was they better last night?
they're still better with him on the court than him off the court. They're a better team, and he gives them a better chance to win, even though he's hurt. Nick,
he's still a better defender too.
Thank you, Steph Curry. We're never gonna see nothing like Steph. We may see imitations of Steph. We have one in the NBA right now named Trae Young, but we'll never see the efficiency that Steph plays at. And like Q said, the gravity. Like when you watch Steph play on this team and then he's not there, it's a completely different team.
It's amazing. It truly is amazing, and that's why I tell people all the time. I'm like, y'all cannot discount this man as top 5 player. Like, if it is what it is, but
we're not having that conversation.
But we're not having because the conversation is over. Like you see what he's done. You see the body of work. Like your man, Easy Money Sniper ain't doing shit, but it's cool. And then we got Steph Curry, who's now out of this series. They're able to play up on Jimmy. They're able to take away all the shots for pods. They're able to render Draymond completely irrelevant to the offense. And still, Golden State is still within 4 or 5 points at any given moment during the game. So that just tells me adding a healthy or a semi-healthy Steph Curry to this shit would at least be tied 2-2. But 3-1 it's just such a bummer for the game. The same way that it's such a bummer that Tatum is out because they were having a war, him and Brunson, and now I feel like the war that we were going to have with Ant and Curry is just completely just off the table. But I'm hoping that they can get him back in a couple of days because it's a travesty. He's playing some of the best ball of his career, and I would love to see him get to the finals again, just one last time.
I mean, I think even Ant knows what's up. Go ahead, Spike.
I was just going to say, I do agree with FIFO and Q in the sense of what Steph took away from this series as being hurt. It changed it dramatically. And the Wolves have shown that they're not a team that could be like, oh, we can beat y'all with Steph. Being that Steph is away, this is the reason that they're succeeding in this. And that shows how good this Steph is. And it takes away from what they're doing as far as Minnesota and how dumb they're playing basketball, to Q's point. And if Steph was in there, we know this would look different. So it don't feel the same when Minnesota wins this series.
And even Ant knows that because Ant told Gary Payton that, oh, y'all trying to get to game 6. I see what y'all doing.
Yeah.
The audio, we heard it. He said it. So he knows that and tomorrow, whenever this next game is, they're trying to end this. They do not want Steph to come back.
They don't want him back.
Which it would be smart for them to go ahead and knock this and get this done. But this series is not the same, but Ant in the second half has been like amazing. Like he has been lights out.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy ever cracks a code and wins a title, bro, the league might be in trouble. The league might be in trouble, man, because he's something else.
I can't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I get a Wolves Knicks series, kid, I don't know what I'll do, bro.
That's the ideal series.
That's the ideal finals. I'm gonna let you know right now. Don't nobody want to see that shit at all. I'm gonna let you know.
That's the ideal finals. What y'all talking about?
Nobody want to see that.
And in Madison Square Garden for the finals? What?
I don't want to see it.
The Knicks is fine, but not the Wolves, bro.
Listen. Because
crazy. I'd rather the Wolves over the Knicks.
Y'all crazy over this because
we all wanted to see Denver.
They force fed us Denver.
Denver.
They force fed us Denver and Miami that year. It was just Jimmy Butler and the Pips. Hell nah.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all over here arguing for parity. Parity don't mean.
If we want to see the ideal finals is Ant going to Madison Square Garden playing in the finals.
Yes,
that's ideal NBA TV.
We will see a cat no finals.
We will see a sweep if we see the Knicks versus the Wolves. Like that shit is over with, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody wants to choke
We
to
need
Denver in the
OKC.
finals.
We need
Hell
OKC or
no.
Denver, bro. We need OKC or Denver, bro.
Nobody want to see them boring ass teams. Q.
Nah, nobody wants to
I
see
think I
Denver,
think
bro.
OKC would be fun, but it's just like I want to see Ant in that on
And
that
You know
level.
what?
talking
And just
shit.
for that,
bro.
and just for that, y'all gonna fuck around and get Denver, Indiana.
Yep. That's your finals, Q.
Hey,
Enjoy it.
Q,
Enjoy it.
Q, if that happens, I'm done with the NBA.
Enjoy
Period.
it. Enjoy it.
Well,
Rick
It's gonna be rigged again.
Hey Nick, you talking about all this coaching and shit? We gonna talk about some coaching next round with Rick Carlisle versus Tibbs. That's gonna be real interesting to see.
Listen, let me enjoy my time with the Eastern Conference Final appearance. Just let me get that. Let me enjoy
It's gonna
my,
be top cheese offense. That shit over with.
Listen, listen. I don't know what I'm looking. I look at Indiana as the luckiest fucking team of the last 2 years
Ain't
because
shit
they've been playing nothing but bums and hurt people.
That offense is humming, boy. You
No,
tripping.
That's not luck.
No, listen, that's the only thing that I say. Like, I looked at that Indiana like this whole series, obviously because Donovan Mitchell's in it, but their offense is damn near like
it's immaculate, bro.
Like it's unstoppable.
I was talking about it last year, but nobody wanted to listen.
It's like an automatic gun. Like it's just gonna keep. They just gonna keep shooting, regardless if it's 3 points or inside, outside, whatever. But they have no defense. My thing is, if you slow this team down to where they're not a running gun team, this is a totally different basketball team. That's what the Knicks have to do because they're the only ones right now playing like it's the 90s basketball where everybody's shooting mid-range and they're doing half-court offenses. If you slow down Indiana and take away their speed, they're a totally different team because they don't play defense at all. You see Donovan Mitchell and all them, they was getting all their shots up. It's just that they couldn't keep up with the scoring output.
Well, that seemed like the defense they was trying to play. Let's stop everybody and let Donovan Mitchell do it all.
Y'all talked about the Cavaliers series, right? Y'all talked about that.
Again, it wasn't really much to talk about besides Donovan Mitchell failing again.
Because bro,
about which part?
And then we got worst of the week coming up next.
That shit is crazy, dude. No,
what you take you?
No, just that that series. I can't stress how much of a monumental failure that series is for Cleveland. Like that shit is like an absolute basketball travesty to what happened to the Cavaliers over those 5 games. Like it's not even excuses for it. Like coaching was bad, players were bad. It was just they all choked. I've never seen an entire organization just at the moment where you're supposed to be taking your moment. This is your moment. Donovan Mitchell, yeah, everybody can talk about 43-point game and shit, but just chucking up a bunch of shots and shit. Darius Garland, no, didn't show up. Jared Allen, nope, didn't show up. Mobley showed up. Ty Jerome played himself into a super max or a super minimum probably. He played him into a fucking super 1-year deal somewhere because, dog, everybody just didn't show up. And then on top of that, you have Indiana and Halliburton just rising to the occasion again. It's 2 years in a row, and everybody wants to write it off as a fluke or write it off. Rick Carlisle got that team playing really good offense, and they know how to think the game through. They don't panic, and that's what I think at least, coaches like Carlisle and Tibbs allow their players to do is they either give them the X's and O's to think through the game, or they give them enough toughness through their conditioning to where they can come back like we're seeing with Boston. And,
we gonna see what they do in the next round because you over here talking all this shit. And I'm trying to tell y'all, Indiana ain't shit.
Nah, they're really good team, bro.
Bookmark.
Respect the man in front of you.
Hey, Sheldon, I'm pushing all my Knicks chips in on this one because we beat Boston, bro. There should be nothing stopping us to get to the finals.
For real.
Listen, this is the year. If we don't go this year, I don't know when. So I'm pushing the chips in, and I'm saying
you think it's not going 7? You think they're gonna beat them?
I'm picking the Knicks in 7, of course.
Okay, so if you think it's going 7 and you're this confident saying that they're not shit, but they're going 7, then I think we all realistically can believe that there's a good chance that Indy could win.
I'm picking Knicks in 7,
of course,
just to cover my bases.
Of course,
I really want because Ken, I really want to say it's a sweep. Well, like, hey, Sheldon,
it'll be a good rematch for Sheldon from last year. I know they would like some.
One of y'all give me a deal on one of these swishers, sweepers, and what are this? All these new vacuum cleaners that's coming out. Because listen, it's gonna be an automatic sweep in my mind.
Yeah, you get your get
but
back.
I gotta respect the opponent. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals back-to-back years, first time since 2013, 2014 with Paul George and them. So you gotta respect them. So I'll say 7 to cover my bases, but I don't see how that team really handles our starting 5 the way they've been doing to everybody else.
What's your worst of the week, Nick?
My worst of the week is going back to the draft. Worst of the week is the Washington Wizards and the Utah Jazz. These goofballs really thought they could just be shitty and get rewarded. Where they do that at, Lou? When don't you do no work and you get all the credit? This ain't back in the day with the group projects in college and high school. Nah, nigga. Y'all need to get it out the mud like everybody else. Be actually a good franchise because y'all been picking the top 5 of the last 10 years. So even if y'all not getting the number 1 overall pick, y'all had plenty of picks to get it right. Washington, I remember when they used to have John Wall in them and he came out with the Dougie. It ain't been the same since. So y'all need to do better. Worst performance of the week thinking y'all could do this shit and keep being trash and get rewarded. We're not doing that no more in the NBA. Do better as a front office. Do better as players. Based off how they look, you can see these are goofball ass teams. So that's the worst performance of the week.
I as we get ready for FIFA's power rankings, Nick, I thought you were gonna put Chet should be on there because that guy, bro, is trash.
He getting saved though right now, Ken, because if OKC lose, we want to talk. We're gonna have to talk about SGA. Ain't gonna be no bullets for Chet. They gonna be like Chet too young.
We're gonna have to talk about Chet, bro.
They gonna say he's young, and this is him getting him losing the Joker. Like,
bro, he couldn't even grab a rebound.
Yo, he really built like Chet Hanks, bro. That shit.
Bro, it's like he was standing there, Nick. He had his hands on the ball. He didn't even have to jump. And somebody came and jumped over his back and took it. And all I see Chet is doing this the whole game. He just doing this shit. Hell no, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, Chet built like that. What's that hybrid monster from Alien Romulus?
Man, y'all gotta stop. No, he built like Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
He a kid, man. He gonna grow up to himself, bro.
I ain't trying to hear all that shit, bro.
Where FIFA go?
Oh no.
There he is. It's time for your power rankings, people.
Somebody said Chet GBT.
That don't even make sense. That's just funny. Like, that's it.
Oh shit. All right. So I told y'all we're gonna be talking about Magic Johnson. So I am doing the top 5 point guards of all time. At number 5. This one is definitely going to be the one that's talked about the most on my list because there's people obviously that he usurped, and we could talk about it. Russell Westbrook, multiple time MVP, triple-double guy. Number 5, my top 5 point guards all time. At number 4, give me the all-time assists and steals leader, John Stockton. At number 3, give me Detroit basketball, Isaiah Thomas. At number 2, give me the chef. He be cooking niggas up all day, Steph Curry. And at number 1, Magic, Irvin Johnson. Those are the top 5 point guards of all time.
Okay. No Nash, no CP3.
So Westbrook has more MVPs than Nash,
No,
and CP3 hasn't won shit.
Westbrook only got 1 MVP.
Okay, that's fine. But
rules don't matter.
That's fine. But he's averaged more points, more assists, more rebounds, more everything. He's done everything that Nash has done plus more.
Q, why do you believe that Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time?
Because you've seen it. You've seen it. You watched the game. Like, what the fuck, bro?
You think he's better than Magic?
I do. I think it's time. And the thing is, though, is that regardless, we're now in a position where it's like the Jordan LeBron shit, where it's like we're no longer having, fuck out of here. It's only Jordan. We're having the conversation now. And just by us having the conversation, that should just be enough for me personally. But if we're having it amongst the guys, yeah, bro, like I think that Steph is better than Magic. I think that he affects the game more. I think that his gravity is its own entity within the NBA. That something that Magic did not have while he was. I think Magic is not a better ball handler than Steph. He's not a better shooter. I don't think that he's a better handler of the basketball than Steph Curry. I don't think he's a better shooter. I don't think that he's in the same like stratosphere as effect on offense.
That's why I disagree. Q. So that's why I disagree, right? Like I don't disagree that Steph Curry's gravity, we've never seen nothing like it in the NBA. But to be quite honest with you, Magic Johnson is space. Magic Johnson affected offense the same way Steph Curry does, but just with a different skill set. He affected it with passing, right? Like look, as a point guard myself, and the people that have played with me in my prime can tell you, bro, like I'm probably one of the best passers you would play with at the time. So I take it very, very seriously when I study a point guard and I watch their passing ability. And when I tell you there's only Jayson Kidd and Magic Johnson that they see things that I like, I'm like, when did you see that? And then their ability to make the pass. Now I will say this, Magic has more championships, and I understand it's a team game. But also, I feel that Magic was more clutch, which is the slight bump. Now, here's the thing, Q. It's Steph and Magic, and that's it. Like,
that's the conversation.
It's them two, and then it's everybody else. Like, nobody else is nowhere near close to them. So, if somebody wants to come to me and say Steph is a better point guard, I say, hey, let's have a conversation. I don't think you're crazy at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's Magic and Steph. And either one of those combinations.
Let me jump into our super chats. We appreciate that, FIFO. But Russell Westbrook, yeah, that is controversial. That's kind of insane.
Who's 6? Can I ask that before super chats real quick? Who's 6?
6? It could be. I would put Nash. I'll put Nash at 6.
CP3.
CP3 would have to be me.
Love CP3, bro.
Yeah, where do you rank Tony Parker?
Tony Parker's in the top 10.
What about Jayson Kidd?
Jayson Kidd's in the top 10.
Okay, that's cool. That's all I want to know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, hold on. Can you CP hasn't won shit, hasn't done shit. Let's be honest.
Damn.
I won't say he ain't done shit, but when Rondo put that curse on him,
I think Nick wants to know where do you rank SGA, because he was clearly the best player in the league, so that means he got to be in your top 5, right? Like,
I was going to ask him about Rondo. Where does he have Rondo ranked?
Rondo, he's coaching right now somewhere.
Tweets open doors. Which will have the biggest impact on the NBA for the next several seasons? Tatum's injury, Giannis possibly traded, or Dallas getting the number 1 pick? Well, it's clearly not the latter.
No.
I think that, well, my personal opinion is that we're going to hear some chatter over the next couple of weeks about your 2 and 3 is that Giannis might get traded to Dallas for the number 1 pick. I think that that's going to be in play. You at least have to broach it if you're Dallas. I think that, your timelines of Cooper Flag being the guy, with Kyrie and AD being in the beginning to middle stages of their 30s. I don't know if that is a timeline you want to bring a young talent into. It could just be, hey, let's go get Giannis, big 3, and let's just ride this out and then reset again. Because if you're going to be bad, then you're going to be in contention for a lottery pick, in a couple years anyway. And a lot of these guys are going to be done probably in the next 5 or 6. So I think that you have a good timeline for that. Tatum's injury would be the third thing for me.
Tatum's injury would be. Oh, good.
Q, thank you for saying that, because they was looking at me like I was crazy for saying either trade everybody else and build around Cooper, or trade the pick and bring in a Giannis or KD or somebody else.
If you're a common sense GM, you have common sense. You're gonna be calling Milwaukee. Y'all like Cooper Flag? Giannis gonna leave for somebody else.
But you're talking about Nico. Nico didn't even do that for Luka, so why would he do that for the number 1 overall pick?
Well, the thing is, though, is that I'm on some QAnon shit, right? Because I believe that the league told him to trade him, right? So I believe that. So I think that this was all some tariff shit going on. But at the end of the day, it's advantageous for the Dallas Mavericks to say, hey, Milwaukee, your star is going to leave. Do you want to trade him for a bunch of pieces and a star? Like what? Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and 1 or 2 picks for Giannis? Or you want Cooper Flag and whoever else, Klay Thompson, somebody else, and then
What about the rest of you guys?
I was gonna say, to me, Tatum's injury is third, Giannis is first, and I'll say Dallas is second. But I think the Spurs pick is more interesting than Dallas having the number 1 overall pick. I think the Spurs, because the Spurs can say we can give you the number 2 pick and some other players and some more picks, and then you put Giannis, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox together, bro. That's winning championship. That's the championship right now.
It is crazy. The thing is, though, is I just don't think Dylan Harper moves a needle for Milwaukee the way that if you're Dallas, you offer Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is like you're looking at homegrown Larry Bird Part 2. Like that's what what they're talking about.
But to me, it's like for Dallas, it's like Nico can maybe get excused for the Luka shit. But if you trade 2 premium quote unquote players in the same season, damn near, you getting fired, bro. I'm sorry.
I don't think if you bring Giannis Dallas though. I don't think Giannis game wise doesn't fit in Dallas,
especially if AD not trying to play the 5. So
yeah,
I still think Tatum's injury is the most important thing. You talk like we talked about. Boston was
important.
Yeah, I'm mad because I thought I had a segment about Tatum and it got skipped over, but that's the last thing is Tatum's injury. That soft ass team, bro, they wasn't gonna do shit with Tatum or without him, bro. Like that's a soft ass.
Go ahead, say your piece then, Lou.
Yeah, go ahead, Lou.
All I was gonna say is Tatum is not to pile on because he hurt now, but that's a soft ass one that you
got. LMA, he'll be all right.
Yeah, that's a soft ass one that you got. And I've been saying that for a long time here. So he got hurt and he's never performed to what you want him to. Even winning the championship, that's not a true number 1. So the reason that Mazzulla comes off as a bad coach, like he said, he had a quote on ESPN when Porzingis got hit. He was like, "I want to see him bleed on the court." Because he know his team is soft as fuck and he wants something to show to make them look like they better than what they are. He know his number 1 is soft. And Tatum has came off as soft. Yeah, he was doing well in the game before he got hurt, but they know that him being the person stepping out in front and trying to lead this team to multiple dynasties, being a dynasty, like you said, Sheldon, that's never going to happen because Tatum, he's not that dude. He's never going to be that dude. I ain't saying he ain't a number 1 because he does have a great skill set, but he's like a value mark Kobe. It's never going to be that.
At the beginning of the season, who did you have winning the championship, Lou?
I don't know. I was watching the NBA then, nigga. Like,
he said, "Nigga, I had the Dallas Cowboys winning the championship."
Right.
Mike was saying that the Celtics were the best team in the East.
Can't stop that. I ain't never saying
that.
No, I did not.
Even when the Cavs were the number 1 seed,
Hey man, Mike was sleeping when he said that. He was sleeping.
Yeah, I probably was sleeping like you said.
He's like, "Man, we Boston, bro."
Like Tatum, even in the series with somebody like Brunson, he'll never be able to be that dog because all of the players who are dogs are more dog than him. Like he can't compete with somebody like Brunson. Even like Iverson, Brunson got more heart than Tatum do. Tatum gonna always take the easy shot. He gonna always do the easy thing, and it's always been said about him. And I don't know why people try to ignore that shit. Isn't it?
I feel you, Lou, but
I've been saying this.
He's still important.
I've been called a hater. I've been called a hater for years, and I think I think that Jayson Tatum, the athleticism is nowhere near because the guy I'm saying is one of the greatest athletes. It's not the greatest athlete in NBA history, but he's just too much Vince Carter for me. He's so gifted. He has all the tools to be nigga can damn near get us 32 a night. Blah blah blah. But he's just a nice guy, dog. He's like he wants to raise his son, his beautiful wife, beautiful.
Why y'all saying like that?
What you got, Doc?
Hey, I just think that Tatum's injury and Giannis being traded can possibly go one and like hand in hand. Like, who knows? Like Giannis may decide where he wants to go may still be in the East because now Boston ain't as big as a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like when the West is loaded, why would I want to go somewhere else and have to like go through that gauntlet? Oh, like and I'm on the East, I really only got 2-3 teams I need to worry about compared to the West is being fully loaded. So those two can go be one and the same. You know what I'm saying? He go right there to Miami. Like, so who knows? Like, that could be an impact too.
Well, if he wants to win, he can't stay in the East.
Nigga,
I'm just saying, like any other team that he would get traded to the East, they're gonna have to decimate their team, except for maybe Philly, because they got the number 3 pick. So it's like
Boston might give everything up for him, except for either Tatum or Brown.
Boston ain't got shit else but Tatum or Brown.
Man,
give up one of them.
Green Bean, Spike being in his 40s and never watching Breaking or Crush Groove is anti-black.
Nigga, he 40. He not 50. God damn.
Really? Is that true?
I don't even know what either one of those are.
We the boys.
Breaking.
Yeah, Russia hacked the draft collusion. The Shamar, the chance of the top 3 picks went that way was 0.046%.
Like, get the fuck out of here, y'all. Like, stop it. Stop it.
Right.
Stop it.
That's what a lottery is, Q.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Bro, niggas ain't take probabilities in school, bro. I swear, man, this conspiracy shit is weird, bro. Like,
Doc is killing me, bro.
It's stupid, bro.
You,
it is so stupid. Like, it
what
doesn't make any sense. But you know, like the Mavs would literally. If they would have made the playoffs, they wouldn't even have been in the lottery, and they were fighting for the last 2 games. Like that's piece of it right there. That's one piece of it. On top of that, you know how many other people have to be within the conspiracy for that to actually work? How many niggas will blow up their fucking teams and lose shit? If I'm an owner, why the fuck would I not with the number 1 pick if my team sucks and I'm not making money? All these sorry ass teams. If I'm Atlanta, why wouldn't I want the number 1 pick? If I'm fucking Utah, why wouldn't I want I would not allow that conspiracy to have behind my back. Like, that shit makes no sense.
Because they're not in on it.
Preach, Doc.
Because they're not in on it. Like, that's why. What the fuck? He ain't say nothing. No, he didn't say shit.
From a young black college educated man, not told the truth. Everything you preach about.
If the conspiracy is so real, there's so many drafts that the Lakers win. The Lakers fucking took Lonzo Ball over Jayson Tatum. And if y'all constantly talk about the Lakers, the premier team in the league, always working for them, why the fuck would they let that shit happen? They would have made sure Jayson Tatum was there.
See, that the premise of that,
because at the time Lonzo Ball was bigger than Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, at the premise of that is that the lotto is rigged every year. It's not rigged every single year, bro. There's some years that they don't give a fuck about who wins. Oh, so you telling me that we gonna trade the highest priced commodity, a young commodity, and then we gonna give you the number 1 pick, and there's nothing about that says, man, that might be a little bit weird.
I can't believe y'all don't get it.
Like, what are y'all talking about, bro?
See, I watched wrestling growing up, so I know about it.
Y'all gotta tap in. Y'all gotta watch.
It's a lottery. It's a lottery.
What does that mean? Y'all keep saying it's a lottery. It's an election. It's everything. It don't mean shit, bro. Whoever they want to win is gonna win.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely. This unaccountable. So this league has to sustain, and the way you sustain it is you make sure the haves have and the have not stay in where they are. You got to make sure. You got to make sure that your top teams have big names.
Then why have the Knicks? Why didn't the Knicks get Zion then? Why didn't the Knicks get Zion? I'm saying, like, if we're talking about the premier franchises getting things to go their way, like we've had, but the Knicks are just as big as
Nick,
as far as a franchise.
You don't think it's strange that the Lakers have always had a premier guy? That ain't strange to you?
No,
they always trade for their guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they draft them. They only drafted Kobe and Magic and Lonzo. Like, that's the last 3 picks that I remember that had any kind of weight.
Bro, it's the thing is though, is that if y'all think that the rich don't collude to stay rich, I don't know what to tell y'all, bro.
I don't know what to tell you either.
I'm not saying you're
I don't
wrong
think
on
that.
premise.
So you're telling me
I don't think that happens. I just don't think that happens in this particular instance.
So you're telling me there's a 0% chance that business had anything to do with those outcomes last night. You're telling me there's a 0% chance. We talking about margins, we talking about probabilities, and there's a 0% chance.
You said 0% chance because we know that's unrealistic, but still, it's a very low chance.
It's a very low chance, and there's a very low chance that shit happens all the time, and we think it's just normal. And it's been like, stop it, bro. I know I was born yesterday, but not just yesterday. Like, I'm not doing it, bro.
JD, did y'all think a draft lottery for the NFL would work? Maybe the top 3 or 5 picks.
We don't need no more fucking drafts, bro. I'm tired of this shit, bro.
You can't do lottery with the NFL.
The draft is stupid. The draft is fucking stupid, just like cap space. It's fucking stupid. Like, all this shit's
hold on, Spike. I want to hear you elaborate on that. Why would it be stupid?
it's harder to lose games in the NFL in the sense of like you can't go out there and bullshit and pussyfoot around. We've seen that from the Pro Bowl. You can't go out there and tell your team I'm willing to lose. So it's harder to tank in the NFL. You're not going to reward teams for the team that loses the most games. They probably deserve to have the number one pick more so than the NBA.
Yeah,
man, all this shit just comes down to whatever the fuck they tell us, bro. Like I just don't believe that shit. Like
that's another podcast, Q.
Yeah, Moose.
It really is. It really is. Methodology.
Dallas traded Luka, then half their team got hurt. Kyrie tore his ACL. They won a play-in game and lose the Nets, and then won the coin toss for the tiebreakers. Too many variables for it to be rigged.
Or certain variables aligned for it to be the perfect time to rig it. What the fuck? Like everything y'all are saying is like y'all are saying like no. I want y'all to understand. Y'all
all he does
saying,
is just flip it around to being the opposite of what was said.
For every instance in which y'all saying it couldn't be because of this, I can make the exact same case that oh shit, they lost Luka. Their team got hurt. Kyrie tore his ACL. It wasn't rigged then because they weren't caring about it. But then when they won the coin cross, then they said, "Oh shit, yo, let's give him Cooper flag." Like, what the fuck? Like,
that's why this is crazy. This is why it's not even worth discussing.
Like the dude off in
it's not crazy. It's just that like we've been bamboozled again. We've been bamboozled again. We think that everything's on the up and up, and y'all gonna all right. Y'all believe that if y'all want to.
I've been where you were, Q, and I just, not anymore. I'm over the rigging shit. We them boys, Brunson, better playoff legacy than Embiid.
Absolutely.
Well, I will say they got to get to
Donovan Mitchell right now too.
They got to get to the Eastern Conference.
Throwing some names out there.
He already better than Embiid.
He's had moments already though, Nick. Like he's come back on a champion down 20 and be the dude that stole that game multiple times.
To me, he's had franchise moments like for the Knicks.
No,
but if we're talking about a whole like he hasn't for all those moments, where has that got him? Because that's what Camden's gonna say at the end of the day. He got these moments, but
it's got him.
But we're comparing him to
Embiid in the East.
And what has Embiid done?
It's got him.
How far has Embiid
done?
And the other thing, the other caveat to that is that I've called out Embiid for being soft because at the end of the day, when you play in a game 7, if you win or lose, somebody got to win or lose. But how did you play? Brunson, I could say, goes down guns blazing.
Yeah,
Embiid hasn't done that.
I get that, but you gotta have. This is a results-driven business when we talk about sports. No matter what you did in that game, if you don't,
we're comparing Brunson to Embiid. Brunson's playoff career has way more moments than Embiid, and that's crazy to say.
No, Brunson's that guy.
And that was it. Last super chat.
Yeah, we're not talking to NBA, Nick. We were just talking two guys.
I'm just saying, once he gets to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is hopefully the next game, then I can say, like, all right, bet I'm with you on that. Because then he has proven not only does he have moments, but he's took it, those moments led to winning. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You got to have the combination too.
So, Nick, you gonna be happy if they lose the next round?
I mean, Joel Embiid is not gonna make the conference finals, so it's like if Jalen Brunson gets to an Eastern Conference Finals, just by default, like he's already has a better playoff legacy. For
Thunder in trouble.
Yeah, they down 80-62. Just like I said, man. You know what? I'm gonna let y'all have it, man. Y'all just believe everything in the world is just. Hey, man, everything in the world is just so organic, and everyone's just getting their fair share, and nothing is rigged, and everything is just everything is just going great for everyone. Fuck out of here, bro.
Two different things.
See, I'm trying to tell y'all it's all one thing. But hey, we gonna talk about that on the next podcast when I go on with Spike at some point this year.
I'm gonna bring you on another week in the books. That's what I'm gonna do. Like I want you to talk about this on another week.
No, because like we gotta wake up as some people, bro. This shit getting sad out here, bro.
All I will say is
Spike and waking up ain't gonna happen, Q.
My thing is
sleep this morning.
By this next episode, we should be in the conference finals, and we'll see what happens. But I pray a Wolves-Knicks finals. That's all I want.
You keep talking about this shit like y'all won the series already.
That's the finals. Everybody wants to see.
Do not let Jaylen Brown put this cape on. That's all I'm saying.
Wolves Nuggets rematch will be good. We'll have actually two rematches. if everything plays out as is.
OKC's cooked, bro. I'm sorry, it's cooked.
Too young.
The Knicks Pacers is gonna be a good throwback field though.
They need to Jalen Williams, Chet, whoever else in the deal, go get Giannis, bro. Like
that's what I was gonna say, Q. Like
it's time.
I would trade Chet, all them. They got the OKC got 30 picks.
Yeah, bro.
Trade half of them.
This is the time.
If I'm Milwaukee, I'm only looking at Houston, San Antonio, and OKC. But in order, it'll be OKC
and also
San Antonio,
and also Aaron Gordon is playing himself into a healthy extension right now too.
He is.
I just don't understand why it wasn't too young for Minnesota last year.
They were too young though. You saw Kyrie and Luka as more. They were more veteran. Kyrie, a real veteran, and Luka.
No, I'm talking about they got to the Western Conference Finals. They beat Denver.
Yeah.
Why weren't they too young? And
I think that what they had was they had veterans in Gobert and Towns that anchored the inside of their offense and their defense, and Ant was a rising star variable that they hadn't seen before. So I think that they had, and plus they had Mike Conley. They had guys that had been there before, the same way Denver had guys that were there before. The only difference is you add in this new dynamo, Anthony Edwards, and that just took him over the top. Him and Nasri actually.
Yeah, he was free enough to just play. He didn't have to worry about the leadership role. Just go out there and hoop, and he was better at hooping than most in that series. So.
One word, Ken. Matchup. The GM from Denver went to Minnesota, built that team to beat Denver. And we saw it play out the way that GM planned it to be. And I don't disagree with the dynamo of AE. Of course, like he exploded last season, onto the scene. He exploded onto the scene. But at the end of the day, it was the matchup, bro. It was the matchup, Ken. And that's the beauty about the playoffs. You could have more talent, you can have all of this, all of that. How do we match up? And that's why I said that I believe in Denver over OKC because of the matchup.
Yeah. We've been saying over and over this was a tough matchup for them.
Can we ask you a question in the chat before we leave? Why support sports if you think it's all rigged?
Why do I support sports the same way that y'all support WWE? What the fuck? What
no one in here looks at WWE.
No, I'm saying the same way that y'all support WWE. You know that there's
the general you.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's entertaining, bro. I want to see how they do this shit every year. Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, though, some people get really offended by like critical thinking because they think that I have to be an idiot just to enjoy some shit. You can actually be a critical person and still enjoy shit that you know is not on the up and up, bro. The same way you watch soap operas or whatever, like you know it's all fake and manufactured drama. Some people enjoy politics that way. Same shit. So it's like I just watch it because I know that the guys put their 100% preparation into it. But the business overall is gonna still have their hand over it. I don't care what no one say.
Damn, boy, I would never want to watch a Tyler Perry film around here.
Q gonna ruin all the fantasy.
Like, nah, bro. Ain't no Christmas, nigga. Ain't no Easter, nigga. Like, we ain't doing that. It's
can't watch no make believe. You can't watch no Marvel movies without it.
Hey, you know what? I don't care what no one say. You left that Black Panther and you say, hey, look. See, we got some power as a people regardless, though. See, we don't need a Black Panther. We can all be Black Panther. We can all be Wakanda. Like, you know what I'm saying? People was giving that real message because you have to debrief your kids on what they watching. The same shit is for these adults. Like, it's like you got these Disney adults that go to Disney World and shit, and they be really enthralled in it. It's like, that's not healthy, bro, to not understand that, like, you're being sold something. And that's my point on this show is to always let people know you're still being sold some shit, bro. They gonna tell you that the game is organic and then cut to a commercial for DraftKings. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm not hearing that.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, we'll end it there. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.